Well, it never fails to set the scene, does it? To stir the soul before a Wales international here in front of a packed Cardiff City Stadium. So, here we go then. Can Wales take control of Group J on the path towards next year's World Cup in the USA, Mexico and Canada? If Belgium take points off North Macedonia tonight, then Wales would go top with a victory here this evening before another battle with the Belgians in Brussels on Monday night. We will of course keep across that other game in the group during our live Friday night football on a chilly summer's evening in the Welsh capital. You're listening to BBC Radio Wales and 5 Live Sports Extra 2 via BBC Sounds, and it is the former Wales internationals Nathan Blake and Danny Gabardon alongside Mark Poyser to guide you through.
Thank you, Ian. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Cardiff City Stadium, which is still filling up. There are 1 or 2 gaps in the top tier of the Ninian stand across from us under grey, chilly clouds overhead. A nation and a manager expect a win, and a comfortable one at that, against the Group J minnows Liechtenstein. Only 5 countries are ranked lower than them in the world. They will be looking to spring a surprise tonight. Wales all in red, trying to get the job done before the big test of Belgium on Monday. And the Belgians, who enter this World Cup draw tonight as well. It is Wales in the huddle to the left of the halfway line. The music blares out, the fans all in red, standing behind the goal in the Canton stand to our left. Craig Bellamy remains unbeaten as Wales manager. He's prowling around his technical area already before a ball's even been kicked. And it's going to be Liechtenstein who start the match, all in white, with pinstripe hoops on their shirts and the black numbers. Wales all in red with the green and white flashes. Liechtenstein kicking towards the Canton stand in this first half. It's match day 3 on the road to the World Cup, and we are underway now, live here on BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. And having gone long, Liechtenstein immediately give the ball back to Wales, and the captain Ben Davies will lead the men in red up towards the halfway line. They would dearly love an early goal just to settle any sort of nerves. But it's the defenders who are having the possession at the moment. Still inside the opening 30 seconds. Ball on the halfway line. That's Johnson down the line looking for the run of Roberts. And it's cleared out of play for a Liechtenstein throw. If you're just joining us, the Wales team: Darlow in goal, Roberts, Roden, Davis and Williams, Ampadu, who plays for the first time for Wales since September, and Sorba Thomas, Johnson, Cullen and Wilson behind Kiefer Moore up front. Liechtenstein have a wing-back in Livio Meyer, who's winning his 50th cap, and in goal Benjamin Buchel enters their top 10 most capped players of all time this evening. And you can't expect the men in white to have much of the ball. You would imagine that Buchel will be the busier of the 2 keepers as Wales look for more down the far left channel, and he does keep it in right by the corner flag across from us in front of that double-decker Ninian stand. Thomas running in and crossing high towards the back post. It's too high, it's beyond everyone. And we've played just past 90 seconds. It is Wales 0, Liechtenstein 0. What have you made of the opening 2 minutes or so, Danny and Nathan?
Good evening all. First and foremost, it's only 2 minutes into the game. You can see the pattern starting to develop already. I'm surprised by this, man. I didn't think Liechtenstein would be playing the ball out from the back. I think that's a very dangerous game, and as you can see, the Welsh players are on the edge of the box salivating, hoping that they do play it out, because they'll put the press on and win the ball back far high up the pitch. So like I said, pattern is developing into the game. it's going to be attack v defence basically, Mark, this evening, and Wales just need to get that early goal.
Well, the ball is back in the Welsh possession, and I think we can count on one hand the Liechtenstein supporters. There are 4, 5, maybe 6 of them stood up in this stand where we are, the grandstand just to our right. The usual away end is populated with Wales supporters. It is not full this evening. But Wales have the ball once again with a returning Ampadu. On to Roberts. Both of those players have won promotion to the Premier League in recent weeks. Wilson also another player back in the team as Roberts is sent tumbling, and that's a free kick to Wales midway inside the Liechtenstein half.
Yeah, he's done it really. He's had the opportunity to go through him there, Connor Roberts, and actually I think that's a free kick the other way, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, the Liechtenstein player is the one who stayed down.
Yeah, Connor's won the ball easily, but his follow through, and really and truly had no need to go through with that type of aggression, but we do like that aggression. We expect it from our players, and it shows a good mind frame right now.
Well, the referee and all the officials are from Greece in the yellow shirt, and Wales take it quickly. Wilson scurries away to the edge of the box. It opens up for Harry Wilson, and he sliced it with the outside of the boot comfortably wide.
That's the worst shot I've ever seen him take. When he done the first guy and the second guy, I was thinking, Liechtenstein have made a real mistake here, because, well, you've seen what he done at the end of the season from a similar position. Instead of bend, he's gone for a ping, and he's just sliced off the outside of his foot.
Clever play from Wales, though. I think Liechtenstein, they're expecting the ball to be put into the box, and he just take a quick one. Harry Wilson in that area where you love to see him. As you say, Nathan, so much better normally in those positions with the technical ability that he has. You're expecting him just off that right-hand side to bend it into that far corner. As you say, he goes for power, strikes with the laces, and just cuts across the shot, never troubling Bushel in the end. But really bright, inventive from Wales there, though.
That's the voice of Danny Gabbard, on before him Nathan Blake here on BBC Radio Wales. This is Cullen in behind, if he can bring it down, he can't quite, and the keeper in green, Bushel, slides out at his feet. It's a difficult one for Cullen to gather in the grey air, but it's 0-0. We've played 5 minutes at the Cardiff City Stadium, match day number 3 in World Cup qualifying. And Liechtenstein are caught in possession. They've conceded a corner. The defender actually dribbled it backwards and over his own line for a corner. It was Lars Treber there. That was some curious defending, to say the least, and it's a Wales corner, the first of the game. Everyone in white back defending, and plenty in red forward to aim at. One player, who is Cullen, trying to make his presence felt in front of the goalkeeper. There's 2 on the edge of the box, 3 at the back post, and Thomas will take from the far side, which is the Wales left, right underneath what is the usual away end here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Curling in from Thomas, and it's headed clear by Liechtenstein to the edge of the box. Now Wilson nods it back to Roberts. And this is Nico Williams for Wales, still inside the Liechtenstein half. Back to Thomas wide on that far left. He'll drive round the outside. Floats in the low cross, and it's actually taken well by Bushel. I think it just hit the turf just before it reached him, and Liechtenstein survived.
Yeah, really good positive play, wasn't it? So, but Thomas getting at Meyer there, left him for dead. Down the outside as well, which is what we love to see. And a good ball into the box also. Give a player like Sorba a nice touch of confidence that.
I think that was the dilemma, guys, in terms of who's going to play at front and that as well. Because I think if you look at the Kazakhstan game, and you look how Sorba Thomas wants to play, he's very direct. He wants to get to the byline and he wants to get crosses in. And he did that quite a lot against Liechtenstein, and we didn't really have that kind of physical presence. At times maybe Brennan wasn't in the right areas in that centre forward position, but going with Kiefer Moore tonight, you can maybe see why, because I mean that's just food and drink to him, really, isn't it? Exactly what he wants, a winger to get to the byline and service the box.
Yeah, stand it up.
Well, we thought Sorba Thomas would play in midfield. He's actually up front with Kiefer Moore. It's a 4-1-3-2.
You thought that, Matt.
I don't remember you saying otherwise. Captain Hindsight over there.
You didn't ask.
That's Ian's problem.
Never go off the UEFA team sheets, mate. You should know that by now.
This is Brennan Johnson. The Liechtenstein one is right, by the way, I might add. Liechtenstein have towed it away from the grasp of Ampadu. And this is Joe Rodon. He's making his 50th start for Wales. And since he made his debut in 2019, nobody has started more Wales matches than the Leeds defender. This is Thomas now popping up on the left again. He's flown past the defender who pulled a bit of his shirt on the way. Thomas gets to the ball before it reaches the corner flag and then curls it in. It's clear before it reaches Johnson. It's out on the far left. Liechtenstein have kept it in, but then they've never really got the ball under control, and Harry Wilson will nip in midway inside the visitors' half to win it back for Wales.
Yeah, brilliant play again by Sorba. Beats Maya down the left again. Maya tugs on him. He goes to deliver it left-footed, cuts back like he's going to go back to his fullback and just whizzes it in with his right foot. Really dangerous to that near post. It's the last thing you're thinking is coming in if you're a defender or a goalkeeper. So really clever play there by Sorba. Started the game really well.
It remains goalless here on BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sports Extra 3, which you can listen to via the BBC Sounds app. Click stations and schedules and you can scroll across the dial till you find it. We're also on BBC Sounds here on BBC Radio Wales and on BBC One Wales. We are your team for Welsh sport. Looking for Thomas again. Everything's going through him. He's got to the byline now. If he can pick out a teammate, he can't. It's cleared but then collected by Wales on the edge of the box. Williams shoots and it's well taken by the goalkeeper Bushell.
He's had a fantastic start to the game, Sorba Thomas. Everything's coming through him on our left-hand side. You can see why Craig Bellamy loves him so much. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking to be direct. As a centre-forward, Blakey, you would know. You love playing with wingers like that. He's a bit of a throwback, really, isn't he?
He
You see
is.
so many wingers now that want to cut inside and the ball doesn't come in. You have to make 3 or 4 runs.
Absolutely.
And the ball never comes in. But you know when it's coming in with him, don't you?
He's a Nathan Blake winger of his Cardiff City days.
He certainly is.
Love it. I love that.
No goals in any of the World Cup qualifiers tonight that are being played elsewhere, including North Macedonia against Belgium. We'll keep a close eye on that one this evening. Wales pressing high and winning it back. Again, it's Thomas. The ball, he's been like a magnet for the ball. And again, 1-2, cross into the penalty, looking for Kiefer Moore, just too high. And it goes past all of the players, in fact, and behind for a goal kick. But the game plan is quite clear. I think the fullback is a weakness, and Thomas is seeing the ball every couple of minutes.
How many caps did you say Maya had, Mark?
It's his big night tonight.
50th,
His
is it?
50th.
Oh, he's going to remember
One
this
more than
one.
me. Yeah, this could be his last one. I think Sorba Thomas is going to retire.
He's going to retire him, yeah.
He's getting absolutely roasted.
Yeah. We're only
10
11 minutes in. You obviously, if that was me now, I'd be shouting at the winger, right? You better get tuck in, you better come across, full back,
Help me,
centre
help
back,
me.
everybody.
Thomas has slid in late. Not on Maya, that's on Lushinger.
Yeah. Just been that end product maybe with Sorba so far, though. He's had 3 or 4 occasions where he's got to the byline and hasn't really picked a player out yet, but you have to feel if he keeps getting into those areas,
It's a matter of time, right?
Matter of time,
and that's what you want. You want him to start in that positive fashion and get into the byline and put the balls in, because you know he's got the quality, and sooner or later he's going to deliver 2 or 3 balls from that side, and then it's about getting on the end of it. The one that he's just whipped in a moment or 2 ago, where he's just whipped it in blindly, really, that's where you want to pick someone out. But you know, if everyone's rushing in, you just put it along that 6-yard box and it tends to end up in the back of the net, either from a defender or an attacker.
It is still 0-0, and from that free kick, Liechtenstein have got in the Wales half for the first time tonight in the opening 12 minutes. And every Wales player is behind the ball now as it's on the halfway line for the men, all in white, ranked 205th in the world. The minnows of this group. And it has been 5 long years since they won a competitive match. And they've gone from a position on the halfway line back towards their own goalkeeper.
They've gone 4 World Cup qualifying campaigns without winning a game.
That's incredible, isn't it?
They lost 10 out of 10 in qualifying for the European Championship. Lost 29 out of 30 major tournament qualifiers, conceding 77 and scoring just 3.
And they're just across the border from Switzerland.
That's
Most
correct.
of their players play in Switzerland.
Their club teams play in the Swiss League.
Yeah. I mean, to have the money they have as a country, because I don't think they're not too bad off. And I don't think they have an airport there, do they? In Liechtenstein.
Well, you've alluded to there, the Prince of Liechtenstein is the 5th wealthiest monarch in the entire world.
There you go. So it's a little surprising, you know.
It remains 0-0. But Wales having all of the ball, and as Danny and Nathan have said, at the moment it feels like it could be a matter of time before Wales finally break through. But Craig Bellamy's perched on the edge of his technical area, arms folded, agitated.
Can you imagine the day they do qualify? That King, boy, to get those dollars out, you'll be like, whoa, yes, King, I need a palace up north, a palace down south.
Holiday for a week.
Yeah, a new bank account in Swiss.
And Wales not crisp with their passing, and Liechtenstein come up towards the halfway line. Hassler, the midfielder, dancing through a couple of challenges. That's a fine ball down this near side to find Notaro, and the longest wait possibly ever for an offside flag. It does go up, and it is a Wales free kick. The players hadn't even heard the whistle. They were carrying on battling for the ball long after the men in yellow had stopped the proceedings. And now what's he done? There's a rolling ball.
What Liechtenstein have done, which has surprised me a little bit, they have pressed a bit more than what I thought they would. They're playing with that kind of 3-5-2 system, and the two strikers, Saglam and Notaro in particular, I thought they might just like kind of drop off to the halfway line and just make it
there,
really
right?
compact.
Block,
but they've actually looked to kind of
press a bit, play a bit out from the back. Yeah, surprised me as well.
The first goal of the night in the World Cup qualifiers. Norway 1, Italy 0. Still goalless in Skopje between North Macedonia and Belgium, as it is here in Cardiff. Wales inside the Liechtenstein half. Davis looking for the ball over the top, looking for Roberts, and the keeper comes through to grab the ball just as an acrobatic leap by Roberts thought he was going to get there. It's snuffed up by Roden on the halfway line. Wales will come again. Wilson looking to play exactly the right pass. Eventually will work its way over to Sorba Thomas. Another test for our friend Maya. Ampadu, a bit more patient this time from Craig Bellamy's team. Liechtenstein are harrying, and they're organised so far in the opening quarter of an hour. It's worked wide to the left. Thomas is hugging that wide touchline. Back to Williams, who eventually crosses in. Keeper Moore with the chance. He's chested it down, and he should have headed towards goal. He chested it into space and only into the defenders who clear. What a chance for Wales. Probably the best of the game so far.
No, probably it is, Mark. He's 4 yards out. He could have chested that into the goal. I really don't understand that. Maybe he's seen something and thought I'll set someone up, but he's literally 4 yards out.
Yeah, it's not really on what he's trying to do either.
Yeah. Well, the player's not made the space, is he?
Yeah, Harry Wilson's there, but he's marked.
Yeah.
You know, normally Kiefer Moore's heading that towards goal, and 9 times out of 10 he's scoring. He's so good in the air.
Well, it's a twisted diving header sort of thing.
Yeah.
He can stoop down and twist and diving header that one, or as it comes down on your chest, you just half volley it.
Yeah, really good movement from him. Good delivery. Just pulls away on that far post off the back of his marker there, and just the wrong decision there.
Still goalless. Again, it's out to Thomas, level with the edge of the penalty area. He's taken on the fullback, beaten him again. Flies past everyone though, and Brennan Johnson retrieves in front of us on this near right. Wilson scurrying, trying to dance in between a couple of challengers, but the white shirts are equal to it. And this is Aaron Selle, and he's won a free kick for handball against Ampadu, who scowls in frustration.
It's interesting kind of looking at Wales now, in particular how our fullbacks play. You know, you remember Nico Williams and the previous kind of managers, he's rampaging down that left hand side, he's overlapping, he's getting forward. Now you see our fullbacks very inverted, you don't really see them overlapping the winger. I think a lot of that is to do with kind of control as well, controlling possession, but also when they lose the ball, having bodies kind of in the central area to win the ball back quickly, and also then kind of trying to isolate your winger against the fullback as well, so getting the ball out to the winger in a 1v1 position and not almost getting in the way.
Yeah, it kind of ends up in that centre forward position sometimes.
Yeah, we just saw him making a run in between fullback and centre back. They're very inverted centrally.
Yeah, and we've seen that from Luis Enrique with the Paris Saint-Germain team. That's what we see from him a lot.
Very kind of forward way of thinking now of how we play.
And you can afford to do it against teams such as this. But in fairness, Craig has been brave in all the games, and it's something he's adopted.
It remains goalless. The floodlights are on, we still have daylight overhead. A few black clouds there, maybe some rain before the night is over. And Carl Darlow, despite the less than summery conditions, might as well be on a deck chair down there. Away to our left, he's barely touched the ball, plays it out now to the defenders on the halfway line. And Wales will try and find a way through again. Nearly 19 minutes gone. And Roberts switches wide to the left to Williams. Thomas again will take on Meyer. And again, he beats him with ease to the byline, pulls it back, again can't find a red shirt. Williams races in to pinch it back, and he'll go round him now to the corner flag, but yet again the cross leaves a lot to be desired. He's surely going to find a red shirt at some point.
Yeah, he keeps looking to fire it into that near post. If I'm Kiefer Moore, I'm just maybe having a word with Sorba and just saying, look, I'll be on the far post, just stand it up. You know, it's something that Daniel James does really well when he plays and Kiefer Moore plays. He just hangs it up into that area, knowing that Kiefer Moore's going to be there. We've seen one cross come in where he's pulled to that far post, Kiefer Moore, and should have done better, probably should have scored. Maybe worth just having a word with Sorba and just say, look, get to the byline, I'll be on that far post, and just hang it up there and I'll go and win it.
Yeah. And Nico Williams is injured off the field from that cross. Wales have kicked the ball out. He's in front of where the away end normally is, and he's in a crumpled heap, beating the turf. The green-shirted physios have sprinted the long way round, and the ambulance crew are readying themselves. We're going to see a replay of this. Does he tweak something, Nathan, do you think, from that replay?
He might have tweaked the knee. I think because he really tried to cut the ball back to a severe angle. I think it might have been just a twist of the knee.
He's been treated off the field, so play will restart with Wales momentarily down to 10 players. The Liechtenstein manager, Konrad Funstuck, was furious that they gave the ball back. And as treatment continues for Williams, Wales play on. Ampadu looking for Johnson.
They've tried that a few times now.
And this is better from Wales. Roberts inside to Johnson. Keeper Moore, the flag stays down. Chance for Wales, and the keeper's out at his feet to make a good save.
Yeah, I'd like to see him lift that. Brilliant little move and a lovely little run from Kiefer, just along the line of 5 yards. Square run, keeps himself onside. I'd like to see him just lift that one over the keeper. It's on his right foot, on the angle.
Despite having a man less, they're still creating chances. It Thomas again, plays it back to the edge of the box to Wilson, across to Roberts, but it's out of his grasp. He's going to have to scurry across to collect it. Williams, meanwhile, by that corner flag off the field, is back up on his feet but moving very gingerly. This is Wilson, meantime for Wales. Out to Thomas, towards the edge of the box, far left. It's walking pace from him. Williams is moving very gingerly.
He's not coming back on. There's no point taking the risk.
It doesn't look like it, does it?
No.
So the Wales subs Ward and Davis the keepers, Mepham, Brooks, Matondo, De Silva, Cabango, Jordan James, Harris, Kumas. The cross comes in for Wales, headed away. Sheehan and Broadhead. No Dan James because of illness. Wales still on the attack. This is Wilson, edge of the box. Kiefer Moore, low cross, goes past everyone and actually out to Thomas on the far side. He might have a shot himself. It's cleared by one white shirt. And then as Ampadu lost it, he has, and there's a breakaway for Liechtenstein. 2-on-2 with the red shirts racing back, and they're going to engulf this attack. That's really well played by Nataro. Wide to the far right by the corner flag, and it needs Davis, the skipper, to slide in and get there ahead of Aaron Seller. And Nico Williams is going to be coming off. Jay De Silva is stripped and ready to come on. And he's actually back down on the turf now on the far side, Nico Williams. He's tried walking, and the stretcher is going to be wheeled round the outside of the pitch.
Yeah, just at that moment then, really good play from Nataro. But I was looking, Saglam should have made the run earlier. He tried, but he just doesn't have the pace. And then he probably had a good 10 yards on Ben Davis. Ben Davis able to make up the ground and just slide in and win the ball.
He made a good ball look like a bad ball.
He did make a really good ball look like an awful ball.
Towing a car out of it.
Yeah.
It's bouncing around that penalty area, and Wales are going to get another corner. And we'll see the change now. Nico Williams is off, and Coventry City's Jay De Silva comes on for his third cap and his first under Craig Bellamy. As a stricken Williams behind the goal where Wales are attacking to our right. He's still waiting for the arrival of the black and yellow stretcher on wheels, which is just about reaching him now.
Yeah, attempted to kind of walk around the side of the pitch, then went down, got back up and then went back down again. I'm not quite sure if he's hurt his ankle or his knee. I'm not sure, but that's a big blow for Wales, obviously with a difficult game against Belgium coming up as well.
It's a train of red shirts in a line on the penalty spot. Referee's picking out the two inside the 6-yard box, as Thomas waits to cool this right down the throat of the goalkeeper. We're still searching for the first goal here. It's cooled in and it's headed wide by Davis, and he thinks he got a last touch off the defender. The Greek referee disagrees. It's a goal kick.
Wonderful ball in, I have to say. Sorba Thomas, right foot, left foot. That's with his right foot from the left hand side, which he's playing on, right footed. He's just put it under the bar basically.
And Ben Davis is right, it was headed behind by a white shirted defender. As Liechtenstein try to play their way out, and it's out for a throw to Wales. And Nico Williams is being wheeled round the pitch now, and we really hope that is not anything serious. He's had a wonderful season for Nottingham Forest and for Wales, and he's coming round now right in front of us as it's crossed into that penalty area, but again Liechtenstein are equal to it, and it's cleared once more. The applause is Williams, who's got his arms folded. He's sat up and just a wry shake of the head as he's wheeled off for more treatment down in the changing room. Thomas will cross into the penalty area again for Wales. It's deflected. Roden has to go back towards the halfway line. A glance and a word from Craig Bellamy, and Nico Williams goes down the tunnel in towards the changing room. It's scooped into the penalty area meanwhile for Kiefer Moore. He's wide on the far side. The cross deflects behind for a Wales corner.
Well, hopefully that isn't too serious an injury for Nico Williams. As Blakey was saying, he's trying to keep the ball in over that far side, and he kind of runs towards the ball at a bit of a kind of an acute angle, and he's looking to swivel and whip it into the box on his left foot, and it just looks like when he plants his foot maybe twists the knee or the ankle.
Just opens up the medial, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Dan,
in comes the corner. Keeper punches through a crowd, and the referee's given a free kick. The man in the yellow shirt couldn't have had a better view.
Yeah, Buchel, to be fair, he's done well there, the goalkeeper.
Did really well, I thought, with the Kiefer Moore chance. He was out really quickly and, you know, possibly could have dinked it over him, but I think he was out that quickly. He didn't really have anywhere to go, Kiefer, with the finish.
Yeah.
It was good goalkeeping.
Outside the right foot, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
Oh.
There's an elbow in the face there of Connor Roberts, which the referee has seen. It was Max Groppel, as they were challenging for that header.
Grapple or Groppel?
Groppel by name, grapple by nature.
For real? I mean, that was so blatant, and the fourth official was literally 10 yards away.
We're approaching the 28-minute mark. The sky's starting to get darker. More grey clouds overhead, and still no Wales breakthrough. Now, Croatia have just broken through against Gibraltar 1-0, and Czech Republic lead Montenegro by 1-0. Still goalless between North Macedonia and Belgium. This is Brennan Johnson charging forward for Wales. That's a great shot across goal, and an even better save to tip it behind for a corner.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Again, we just spoke about him, Buchel. Lovely little play by Wales. Really well played. Harry Wilson involved. Brennan Johnson takes over. He's on the angle. 12 yards out. Across the keeper. Buchel's right hand, strong as, push it for a corner.
His first sniff of goal. Another corner comes down the throat, and Buchel again gathers all 4 Wales corners from that far left, all down his throat. And the last 2 he's dealt with really well.
He's been very good. Very good so far, Buchel. I mean, Brennan Johnson can't put that strike anywhere else from the angle he was on. It was lovely football, lovely build-up play on this right-hand side by Wales. First time we've seen Brennan Johnson really involved in an attack, and he gets down the right-hand side of that 18-yard box and he fires a really strong shot across Buchel, but it's a really good save, diving to his right, really strong right hand to tip that round the post.
They're being serenaded here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Belgium have scored in Skopje. North Macedonia 0, Belgium 1 in Group J.
Another injury here, Mark.
And it's Kiefer Moore who's down, way down. The ball's down towards our left. He's clutching his knee, the top of his shin. He doesn't look in too much distress at the moment. The referee actually helps him to his feet. No such worries for the striker. Wales having lost Nico Williams to injury inside this opening half an hour, where we haven't seen any goals, despite the 176 place gap between the two teams in the FIFA World Rankings.
Yeah, I think Craig said we're going to have to be patient. It's not going to be straightforward. I think the problem is, if you don't get 3 or 4 goals, it's the likes of Belgium, when they do step up against these teams, they tend to go and get those 4 or 5 goals. And if you're level on points at the end of the campaign, then, you know, obviously Belgium would be ahead of you. So it's important for Wales to get the goals, at least 3 goals, I would say, tonight.
And Croatia scored again against Gibraltar, 2-0 up. Still Norway 1, Italy 0. Yes. Belgium, as I said, ahead in Skopje. This is Kiefer Moore moving fine, low cross towards Wilson, and it's slid away by those defenders in white who are having to get through a lot of work in this first half. Thomas crosses again. It's flicked on by Wales. Again, the white shirts head away. It is defence and attack. Nathan Blake called it before a ball was kicked, and it's proving that way so far on BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. Out to Thomas, he'll take on Meyer again. This time he cuts in, edge of the box. It's clipped in by Ampadu, shot by Cullen, takes a big deflection. He really got hold of that one, and it's going to dribble out of play for a corner, this time on the near right.
Yeah, I'd like to see Cullen get in the game a bit more. He's passed him by a bit. Let me see.
He struck that with real venom.
Beautiful, beautiful technique also.
So the first chance for Wilson from this near side to try and create something. It's another in-swinger. The keeper's lost the flight, and it's headed wide. It was Kiefer Moore. He went up too early. By the time the ball got to him, he was on the way down, and he could only help it comfortably wide of the goal.
Yeah, you can see him stretching for all his might, can you? Stretching that neck, trying to hold up in there. But I think the ref might have given a foul also that hit the back of the net.
Didn't quite have the Cristiano Ronaldo hang time, did he?
No.
Still goalless. Wales, though, have enjoyed 76% possession. As Wilson charges down the clearance, it's a Liechtenstein throw right by their own corner flag. This is the third meeting between these two nations. Wales, unsurprisingly, have won all three by an aggregate score of 8-0.
Yeah, they just need to be patient, Mark. It's a situation where you score one and the second one comes and the third one comes, and it can happen in like a 15 minute period, even a 5-10 minute period. It's just getting that first goal and, you know, breaking the heart, so to speak, of the opponent. While it's 0-0, they just run that bit further, that bit harder.
This is Johnson on the right with Roberts on the overlap. It's asking a lot of him to get to that, and who got the last touch? The defender did, as they both slid in. A sixth Welsh corner with a little over 11 minutes left to half time. How they would dearly love to break the deadlock before the interval. Wilson again with one arm in the air. Lots of movement inside that penalty area. It's another decent delivery. It's headed into the air by the defender. Bicycle kick from Johnson. It takes a deflection, and the keeper is able to strain every sinew to tip it over his crossbar.
That's brilliant, I have to say again. By Burchell. There's an overhead kick from Johnson from about 8, maybe 10 yards. Takes a deflection. In fairness, the keeper.
In comes the corner again. Free header for Roden over the bar from 6 yards out, but it was a packed penalty area. Wales are starting to knock at the door now.
And that might be the way to open the deadlock. We've had plenty of set pieces, lots of corners, lots of first contacts kind of off the corners, but not quite able to hit the target. And when we have, we've seen Bushel in the form of his life at the minute. 4 minutes gone and he's made 3 or 4 really good saves. This one here just reacting quickly off the overhead kick, a little deflection right in front of him off his defender, and diving to his left, manages to tip that one over the bar. In inspired form at the minute.
Former Oxford United goalkeeper Benjamin Bushel, if you remember his 2015 to 2017 spell there, then I tip my hat to you. Wales attack once more, still searching for the breakthrough here on BBC Radio Wales and 5 Sports Extra. Wilson cutting in, finds Cullen, finds Roberts, finds Moore, it's deflected, comes back out to Roberts. Johnson, corner of the box on the right, clips it to the back post. Kiefer Moore's header is wide.
I have to say, not Nataro, sorry. Trader, absolutely fantastic block there. Kiefer Moore wasn't slow in his reactions. Might not have been as sharp as he would be during the season, but he was pretty sharp. I have to say, Trader with a great block. You'd appreciate that, Dan.
I certainly would. Really good defending, last ditch tackle. Looks like Kiefer Moore's going to score. And then they do a really good job when the ball comes back in on Kiefer Moore as well.
Absolutely.
That ball comes into the far post and they don't actually win the header. Kiefer Moore wins the header. But I think there might have been Traber again, maybe on that far post, who just gets his body into Kiefer Moore, makes it really difficult for him to kind of power that header on target. Another minute. Liechtenstein standing firm.
Danny Gabidon and Nathan Blake, my company tonight. What about this for a scoreline in Oslo? Norway 2, Italy 0. Now Belgium still 1-0 up in Skopje. It's still 0-0 here. Now Connor Roberts showed a bit of frustration to the assistant, and the referee's now going to have a word in his ear. He races back to get into position. A couple of scowls from some of these Wales players. No frustration boiling over yet, but they would have hoped to have been ahead by now. Liechtenstein have been dogged in their defence as Davies is tripped in the centre circle. He wants to take it quickly and does. Out to Thomas on the left, who will attack. The fullback's got support, so he cuts in. The cross comes into the box. Oh, chance for Roberts, he's offside. He's put the ball in, but he knew it straight away. He was a couple of yards off. It was Cullen's effort across goal. Perfectly for Roberts, but he'd strayed too far and it won't count.
Yeah, fair play to the ref, give him credit. Papa Petru let play go on after a blatant foul, which probably could have drawn a yellow card, the first one of the game, but he let it go. Really good play, really good refereeing. Conor Roberts just straight offside. A good discipline again from...
This is Roberts, then Wilson, trying to find Cullen. No need for VAR as we saw the replay.
Yeah, good discipline by Liechtenstein. Defensively, really good line they held there.
Well, their friendly win against Hong Kong, the mighty Hong Kong, on October the 10th, is their only win in their last 47 internationals, but they're keeping Wales at bay so far. 7 minutes left of this first half. They've given it away on the edge of their own box. This is Wilson into Moore, might break for Thomas, who has to keep it in to prevent the corner, prevent the goal kick, and the assistant's flag has gone up. He has given a corner.
Yeah, what's important now, the fans around us in the stadium don't start to get frustrated. It just brings extra pressure.
There's a couple of murmurs, isn't there?
It's just beginning, yeah. And the clouds are getting darker above us, Mark.
Well, there's a thunderstorm forecast for this evening. In comes the Thomas corner and headed into the back of the net. Joe Rodon makes the breakthrough 6 minutes before half time. It's his first goal for Wales, and he celebrates furiously. Wales ahead against the Minnows by 1-0.
Yeah, it's just a really good, well-worked set piece. Really good run from Rodon. Gets across his man, first to the ball. He's 6 yards out, inside the 6-yard box. And he just deflects it, holds his man off. There's man under pressure, come and put him under pressure from behind. Just gets there first, doesn't have to jump. Brilliant goal.
We saw, just before the goal, we saw some really good defending from Traber. A last-ditch tackle on a Kiefer Moore shot, but not so good defending there. He's never really looking at the ball coming in. All he's interested in is trying to block off Joe Rodon, not aware of the flight of the ball, never looking at the cross. And he does really well, Rodon, to kind of get his body into Traber. He's looking at the ball, and on this occasion gets the first contact and nods it into that far corner. But away, the delivery from Sorba Thomas, right on the money again. Fantastic delivery, whips it in with pace, accuracy. Joe Rodon getting his first goal for Wales.
And that's the cue for plenty of supporters to start making their way down the aisles and onto the concourse for a half-time drink. Wales ahead. They have the breakthrough. 4.5 minutes to half-time.
Not actually sure it was a corner though, you know. Saw a replay, and I don't think Liechtenstein will be too happy with the officials, but looked like the ball actually came off Kiefer Moore and went out for the goal kick.
Well, now will the floodgates open. This is Johnson on the near right. Cross is a good one. Moore, they get in each other's way. And it's over the bar from Wilson. It was Cullen and Moore who went for the same ball. Yeah. And a golden chance has gone missing.
Well, it's a great ball in, first and foremost. A beautiful ball from Ben Davies, just in his own half, left to right. Brennan Johnson, lovely touch. Doesn't try and beat his defender, just puts the ball around him, bends it around him. Kiefer Moore's rising exactly where we want him on that far stick, 7 yards out. And Cullen just also going for the ball. Just jumps into Kiefer, just puts him off. It's what you do if you're a defender, right, against Kiefer. You're just trying to affect his positioning in the air. That's exactly what Cullen done. Ends up missing the target.
Harry Wilson has been ordered to go off the field now by the referee. Has he taken a whack to the mouth? And he is furious with that. He's had to have... All he's done is spray water. There's obviously a little, maybe a tiny bit of blood on his lip or something. And the Wales coaching team are not happy with that decision, neither is he. Wales back down to 10 men momentarily as it breaks for Cullen on the halfway line. Johnson's made the run, but he's cut inside. Roberts over the halfway line in front of us now. 3 minutes to half time here on BBC Radio Wales, BBC's Fat Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. The ball eventually reaches Thomas on the left, edge of the penalty area. 3 red shirts to aim at. This walking pace from Wales. This is De Silva. And Wilson is waiting to come back on. And on he runs as Wales still have the ball. It's with Thomas right on the whitewash on the far left. And the cross is nowhere near anyone in red. Away by Liechtenstein, collected by Davis. Wilson's first touch after coming back on. He spins and comes forward midway in the Liechtenstein half. Thomas is in acres of space, wide left. Can he pick out a teammate? It's looped in, too high for more. Goal kick.
Yeah, he's disappointed. He is disappointed, Somba Thomas. Credit him for his delivery, but just a bit heavy on that occasion. But again, just Wales, all the play. I would say their final ball has just been a bit off at times this evening. But you do get the feeling there's another 2 or 3, maybe 4 goals in this game for Wales.
Yeah. What I loved about that passage of play though is just how patient the team was. Initially the ball went out to Sorba Thomas. He had acres of space to cross the ball, saw he wasn't really on, went back out to Jay De Silva. They built play back up again, and then he eventually ended up getting the ball back again in a more favourable position. But as you say, Blake, set piece delivery's been very good, but there's been a number of crosses that have gone in that haven't quite been on the money.
And you're spot on, mate, because Cullen started the play, could have gone earlier, was nice and patient. Ampadu picks up the ball in central midfield and spreads it wide. That patience they've shown is...
And I think, it's only Liechtenstein we're playing tonight, but just in the bigger picture way of thinking about how we're going to play as a team, you're starting to see the just patterns, little things now, patterns and players' roles and what the manager wants from them, and I think it's really exciting.
While Nathan and Danny were talking there, we had another incident between Max Goppel, the grappler, and Connor Roberts. No free kick was given. The play continues, and the fourth official's big moment is coming as Norway have got a third against Italy in Oslo. 3-0 they lead, 1-0 Wales ahead here as Johnson cuts in from the near right. It has been all Wales as we expected. 3 minutes of added time, which we're into now. Thomas on the left will attack the fullback and pulls it back for more with the back heel, saved by the feet of the keeper. And it's scrambled clear by Liechtenstein. One back by De Silva on the left. This is more inside the box. He's nipped past one. The clearance by Liechtenstein is out only as far as Ampadu. Wales looking to press home their advantage in first half stoppage time.
It sounds crazy, but you want that frantic sort of around the 18-yard box because mistakes are made. Don't give defenders or midfielders time to get into position, but within 2 or 3 seconds, if you lose the ball, you're going to have it back. So Wales around that final third, just pick up that tempo.
Thomas again, low cross, finds the defender, flicked clear only as far as De Silva, who's encouraged to shoot corner of the box, wide on the left, spins backwards. Thomas is the grateful recipient on the opposite side to us in front of the double-decker Ninian stand. Crossed by De Silva is headed away. It's Cullen who has to come across to collect in front of us. 1 minute of the 3 to be added at half-time has gone. Wales leading by 1-0. Joe Rodon's first for his country. Thomas again, corner of the box left-hand side, into keeper Moore to his feet this time. He spins one way, tries to spin the next. Is towed away by someone in white. Roberts now on the right. It's frantic, as Nathan Blake was saying, on the edge of that 18-yard box. So many white shirts in the way. Thomas left-hand side, low cross towed out. Thomas will pick up the rebound. Ampadu now goes past one and shoots! And it flies past the post. The keeper didn't move. Goal kick.
I was waiting for the net to bulge, boys.
He was up, baby.
I love the possession, though. Again, how we just pen Liechtenstein in. so many bodies in that central area.
Yeah.
Real sharp, quick, short passing. Eventually Ampadu gets it left hand side of the 18-yard box, and he's looking to whip one into that far corner. Never troubles the goal in the end, but really a lot to like in this first half in terms of the possession. Probably the most possession we've ever had, I reckon, in an international game. What are we up to now? It's got to be about 75%. 76%.
That was one of those efforts that, because of where we're sat, it looked really close, and on the replay it was absolutely nowhere near. Wales 1-0 up, and we're inside the final 30 seconds of added time at the end of the first half here on BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. This is Jay De Silva, and now Thomas. They get to the edge of the box, and then it's walking pace once more.
What De Silva and Silva on that left hand side, you've got a lot of pace. So whether he underlaps or overlaps De Silva in the second half, he'll really take advantage.
All bar 2 white shirts are inside the penalty area as Wales attack. It's a low ball into that box, and it's Aaron Seller who will lead the charge. And there is the half-time whistle. Well, it took Wales 40 minutes to break through, but they have broken through. And the first player in red who makes his way off the field is the goal scorer, Joe Rodon, with a powerful header for his first international goal. Wales have dominated. They've got one to show for it. They will hope for more in the second half. At half-time, Wales 1, Liechtenstein 0.
Yeah, as we thought, it became a game of attack v defence, didn't it? And for 39 minutes, it was the defence and the brilliant goalkeeper who were winning. But then that corner from Joe Rodon, making his 50th start for his country tonight. What a way to mark it with his first goal for his country. Yeah, as predicted, Nath and Danny, a lot of frustration there, or frustration from the crowd and the players getting irritated as well, as they sort of struggle to break Liechtenstein down. 16 attempts on goal to 0 tells you how many efforts Wales have made to score. But if you were trying to coach a perfect kind of set-piece routine, you'd coach something like that, wouldn't you? It was a brilliantly whipped-in ball from Sorba Thomas, the swerve and the pace on it, and Joe Rodon then just peeling off of his marker to head it home.
Yeah, it was actually, from a defensive point of view, you'd say it was too easy. But from Wales's point of view, yeah, great goal. Joe Rodon getting his first goal for Wales, so really happy about that. But, Wales have shown great intent, kept the ball 75% possession. As you would expect, a couple of chances. Kiefer had a good chance on about 18 minutes where he's chested the ball down to someone rather than just take it on his own. He's had a little back flick heel. There's been one or two other opportunities. But then when the goal did come, you were expecting them Wales to, go and get a second. But what it has done is relax the crowd and relax Wales. And as Danny was saying in commentary, the patterns they're playing and now the shape of the team and the movement and everything, yes, it's against Liechtenstein, but it's a great opportunity for you to practice these things and get into a rhythm of where you need to be and when you need to be there. So a decent first half from Wales. Could have had a second goal, would have made it, a really good half, but I expect them to get at least 2 goals in that second half.
Because sort of despite the moments of irritation, Danny, they've pretty much done what Craig Bellamy wanted them to do in terms of we need to control these games with the ball. Another stat, 333 passes, 310 completed, so they are controlling it.
Yeah, and the word control is really big for Craig Bellamy. It is, controlling possession, but also controlling our possession. I spoke in the first half about the fullbacks being inverted. You will not see Connor Roberts and Nico Williams and Jay De Silva. You will not see them. They'll rarely overlap. They stay in central areas, and a lot of that is to do with having control of the ball. So you have lots of players in close proximity to each other, so it's very easy to keep possession, but also it's for the transition. So you've seen a number of crosses kind of go in this first half where the ball's been cleared, and we have players in the right areas to pick the second ball up and keep that pressure on. So look, we've had a lot of possession in that first half, and Craig would have wanted maybe a couple more goals from the amount of possession that we've had, but sometimes it's also about wearing the opposition down as well, the way that we play. And we're playing against a lot of these Liechtenstein players are part-timers, so they are going to get tired. They are going to get tired. The first 15-20 minutes they're flying about full of energy. As the half went on, they're finding it more difficult and more difficult. And look, it just shows how important set pieces are as well. When you're not maybe producing something from open play, set pieces can be the way of getting your nose in front or winning a game of football, and we managed to do that with a Joe Rodon header. So I think on the whole Craig will be really pleased with that first half. And yes, it's only Liechtenstein, but I've really enjoyed watching how we're trying to play. It's a modern day way of playing now, and I think we're only going to get better the more games we play. But yeah, we would like to have had a couple more goals, but really pleased how we got our nose in front.
That's how we get them in the second half then. Thank you very much, Danny and Nathan, for the moment. In the other game in the group, Belgium starting their World Cup campaign, and they're in front in North Macedonia, leading 1-0. But at the moment in the live table, Wales are top with 7 points, 3 ahead of North Macedonia. So we'll be back with second half commentary. We'll round up everything else that's going on in the world of sport as well after we get the latest Radio Wales news, travel and weather with Rebecca Miles.
This is Radio Wales on BBC Sounds or on your smart speaker. Play BBC Radio Wales.
BBC News for Wales, this is Rebecca Miles. A former Flintshire teacher who posed as a teenager online to ask girls for indecent images has been jailed for 8 years. Simon Clark from Ellesmere Port was working in Mould when he pretended to be a 14-year-old boy and sent messages to 26 girls aged between 10 and 15. He'll face an extended 4 years on licence at the end of his prison sentence. Our reporter Matt Richards has been following the case.
Simon Clark from Ellesmere Port had previously admitted 29 offences, including inciting a child under 13 to engage in sexual activity, 21 counts of sexual communication with a child, and making over 130 indecent images of children, 26 of which were in the most serious category. Reporting restrictions are in place to protect the identity of the complainants.
Donald Trump suggested he's not that interested in making up with Elon Musk after the pair fell out spectacularly yesterday. The tech billionaire who owns Tesla claimed he'd won the election for the US president. Mr. Trump in turn indicated he could save government money by cancelling contracts with Mr. Musk's companies. A court's heard cannabis packages posted from California to addresses in Cardiff were discovered at a Royal Mail sorting office. Jurors at a trial at Newport Crown Court were told millions of pounds worth of the drugs, some in packages labelled as Yankee Candles, were smuggled into the UK. Yesterday, 2 men admitted conspiring to import the Class B drug. 2 other defendants deny all the charges against them, and the trial continues. And an RAF veteran from Caerphilly said he would not change a thing about his life as he celebrated his 100th birthday on the anniversary of D-Day. Edward Carter turned 19 81 years ago today.
I was in the Air Force for 4.5 years, and I learnt 6 months. You had to learn in 6 months that in peacetime it would take you 3 years.
That's the BBC News for Wales, and now let's get the travel.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Well, problems continue in Blaenau Gwent in Ebbw Vale town centre. The A4046, that's still cordoned off between Queen Street, Queen Square and Market Street as police continue to deal with an accident on that stretch. Better news heading into Cardiff, the 4232 all back open now just south of the M4 heading down towards Culverhouse Cross. That accident's been cleared nicely out of the way. Just a reminder, in the north of the country to the west of the A55, the A494, the Mould bypass closed once again for the overnight roadwork, scheduled to reopen at around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that's the latest from BBC Radio Wales Travel.
Thanks, Johnny. Tonight will become cloudy with prolonged outbreaks of rain. Some will move soon in from the west. Pretty heavy rain at times with lows of around 7 Celsius. Tomorrow, the rain in the north will clear to scattered showers. In the south, heavy rain will still persist in the morning, but will be replaced by showers and sunny spells in the afternoon. That's your forecast.
Your team for Welsh sport. BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. Welcome back to the Cardiff City Stadium, where Liechtenstein have made life difficult for Wales in their World Cup qualifier. But one set piece, one big breakthrough.
In comes the Thomas corner and headed into the back of the net. Joe Rodon makes the breakthrough 6 minutes before half-time. It's his first goal for Wales. And he celebrates furiously. Wales ahead against the Minnows by 1-0.
Yeah, Rodon's first Wales goal, cracking the visitors' resistance 7 minutes before the break. Wales topping the group in the live table with the other game, North Macedonia 0, Belgium 1.
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport.
With Ian Hunt.
And of course, Wales go to Brussels to face Belgium on Monday, reunited with the side that they've had so much joy with over the last 10 years, but they never actually won in Brussels. Huge test for Craig Bellamy and his unbeaten run as the Wales head coach. We will be live from 7 o'clock on Monday night for that one. But they're leading tonight by 1-0. Second half commentary coming up very, very shortly. But let's run you through some other news then in the world of football and indeed the Wales women's camp preparing for, of course, Euro 2025, their first major tournament, and confirmed within the past couple of hours that their teenage defender Maisie Davis is going to miss it after suffering a rupture to her ACL in the Nations League defeat in Denmark last Friday. Wales kick off their campaign against the Netherlands in 29 days' time. The big news from the Premier League this evening: Ange Postecoglou sacked as Tottenham Hotspur manager just 16 days after leading them to victory over Manchester United in the Europa League final when Brennan Johnson, the Wales forward, of course, scored to bring Spurs their first major trophy in 17 years. In terms of the possible successors, the Brentford boss Thomas Frank is among the leading candidates to replace Postecoglou. Much more on the story on the BBC Sport website. Nathan Jones, meanwhile, the Welshman, has signed a new 5-year contract with newly promoted Championship side Charlton. He had, of course, been linked with the vacant role here at Cardiff City, his hometown club, while Swansea have signed the former Bolton captain Ricardo Santos on a 2-year contract. Let's check in with the cricket then, and it's 1-1, lost one so far for Glamorgan in the Vitality T20 Blast. So how are they doing tonight in game number 3 against Essex at Sophia Gardens? Let's get the latest from Nick Webb.
Glamorgan are going very nicely. They're 121 for 1, and we're in the 12th over. That's chasing 184 to win. It looked like a really formidable target set by Essex, thanks to Michael Pepper's 60 off 30 balls for Glamorgan. 3 wickets for Douthwaite, 2 apiece for Crane and Callaway. But Carlson and Smale went off at a fair lick. Carlson leading the way. He's on 59 not out now. And Will Smale, the only man out, caught off Shane Snater for 43. That was 1 for 91 in the 9th over. Ben Callaway has come in and got a few away early on, and Glamorgan are well placed now. They're 121 for 1 in the 12th.
Thank you very much, Nick. Just up the road there at Sophia Gardens across Cardiff. Commentary continuing on the BBC Sports website. In terms of England, they set West Indies a target of 189 in the first T20 International at Chesterley Street. The visitors 32 for 1, needing 157 from 91 balls. And of course the tennis happening tonight at the French Open, the men's semi-finals, where you've got the world number 1 Yannick Sinner with a 2-set lead over Novak Djokovic. Defending champion Carlos Alcaraz awaiting the winner in the final. Right, we've got just a couple of minutes, I think, before the sides are back out then here at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is the June doubleheader. Liechtenstein tonight, Belgium on Monday. Wales leading this one by 1-0. Danny Gabardon and Nathan Blake, the 2 former Wales internationals, watching for us. Let's talk about injuries, Danny, just before the second half. And one maybe, first of all, on Maisie Davis with the Wales squad. We know that they've got several injury concerns. Sophie Ingles trying to get fit for the tournament. Rhiannon Roberts, Olivia Clark also have knocks. Confirmed tonight that Maisie Davis is going to miss it. She broke through over the last year or so. Shame for her, because a young player might go to a tournament like that with no fear. You never know, they might make the big breakthrough. So it's disappointing she's not going to go.
Yeah, you have to feel for her, you really do. And You know, when I saw her kind of go down and the way she went down, it was a bit of an innocuous kind of challenge, really. You couldn't really, wasn't much contact involved. You know, they're the ones where you kind of fear the worst, and you know, you could see that she was kind of in a lot of pain, and you're just hoping that the injury wasn't too serious. But obviously here now, I think that she's going to have an ACL operation, so that is a huge blow, because she is a massive talent as well. You know, just breaking on the scene now, just kind of starting her career, and you know, the games that she's played for Wales already, you know, she's shown fantastic kind of promise. So for her to kind of miss out on going to our first major tournament, you know, you really do have to feel for her, and obviously for Rhian Wilkinson as well, because you want all your best players fit and available.
Yeah, she said, Rhian Wilkinson, that she's going to be a big star of the future, Maisie Davis, so we wish her well. In terms of injuries as well, Nico Williams, as Wales come back out, just a quick one on that. He was wheeled off on a stretcher, or wheeled around the pitch. I'm not quite sure what happened.
No, yeah, it was a difficult one, because obviously it wasn't a tackle or there was no contact, and he just looked like he twisted awkwardly. He's gone to the ball at a really funny angle, and he's looking to kind of plant his foot, swivel and whip the ball into the box, which he does, but I can only think it's maybe when he plants his leg to kind of cross the ball in, he's twisted his knee or his ankle there, and you know, obviously didn't look happy, tried to get up, went back down, got back up, went back down, and then in the end the stretch had to be called. So yeah, that didn't look good, and obviously that's a big blow for us, because he's an important player.
Liechtenstein not out yet for the second half. Nathan Blake, you wanted 3 or 4 goals tonight. You going to get them?
Yeah, I think so. We're back.
Not like you were turning to ask Mark Poyser there.
Yeah, I was. Poyser's my man. But yeah, I think so. I you know, Danny made the point towards the end of the first half, or at half time. You know, as they get, you know, tired, the players from Liechtenstein, and the spaces will open up. And my sources are telling me, and I hope this isn't true, that it could be an ACL.
Oh, with Nico?
Yes, and just hoping that isn't the case, because that will be an absolute disaster.
Yeah, if there's a time to do it though, there's no time you want to do it, but it's now the time to do it.
I just like it's just never don't
want to do it.
No.
This is not the summer coming up.
A lot of the women do it, and you know, it's such a nightmare injury. And the worry was for us was he got up, walked a little bit, and then was back down. So, you know, he didn't look comfortable at all. So listen, let's say a little prayer. Fingers crossed it's not. I'm totally wrong. But yeah, that could be the case.
Let's hope your sources are wrong then on this occasion. We'll find out later on then from Craig Bellamy. Wonder how he's feeling. He just wanted Wales to win this game tonight. They are doing that at the moment. Will we get goal number 2, 3, 4, or maybe more? I mean, nice, wouldn't it, for a Friday night? He looks happy, smile on his face. Second half about to get underway then. Danny Gabbard, Nathan Blake and Mark Poyser.
Well, thank you, Ian. Welcome back to the Cardiff City Stadium. I can confirm Nathan Blake is not a doctor, so we will hope for good news and more fun and games, because our old friend on his 50th cap, Livio Meyer, has come off at half-time, torn to shreds by Sorba Thomas. Kenny Kindle is on. There's also a change up front. Ferhat Saglam is off for William Pizzi, who wins his 3rd cap. No changes for Wales, and we are back underway. Wales all in red with the green and white trim, now kicking from right to left and looking for Cullen straight away, and the keeper has to juggle with that one. They're going towards the Canton stand. There's plenty of supporters still filing back into their seats for this second half. Wales 1, Liechtenstein 0. They will hope for goals, and plenty of them, in this second half. And we'll bring you news of the full extent of Nico Williams' injury when we hear from Craig Bellamy after the game. We are on air until 10 o'clock tonight.
Talking about fans in the stadium not being quite full yet. Nice to see Yolo and Gal from Haarlech. I believe they used to teach Ewan Roberts. See them really often, really friendly guys, lovely people. Lovely to see them down.
Teach him, put him in detention.
Yeah, you were like, you was. I seen you had to know somebody when they were telling me.
Yeah, we got all the gossip on our colleague from Radio Cymru, Ewan Roberts, at half-time from his old. Did they say they were his PE teachers?
PE and French teachers.
Well, they must have told him something in PE.
I didn't teach you no French.
No.
I seen him in Paris. Couldn't order a bottle of brandy.
Scrambling.
Yeah.
Wales in possession while we've been talking. Thomas in behind now on the left into the corner of the penalty area. The defenders race across and it's knocked behind for the first corner of the second half to Wales.
Still attacking down that left-hand side. I think we're trying to get the substitute Kindle substitute back off. Haven't seen too much down the right-hand side, do we?
No, we haven't.
Everything's been dominant down that left-hand side with Sorba Thomas.
Well, they've tried. If the difference is, I think, Sorba's hanging out and is playing the ball come wide to him. We know Brennan likes to play the ball, get the ball played inside the defender.
Corner's cleared at the near post, headed into the sky on the edge of the penalty area. Back out to Thomas. This time on the near left, down the line is Ampadu, and it's left well for Roberts, who shoots into the gut of one of the defenders. They eventually scramble it away. It's more Wales pressure. Davis high into the night sky. It is still daylight above us, but it's getting darker. Macedonia have equalised against Belgium in Skopje. It is 1-1. Wales go to Brussels on Monday, a game that will be live from 7 o'clock on BBC Radio Wales and BBC One Wales. It's gone to VAR, that goal. This is Thomas, who's scythed down here by Kindle, who's been on the field 3 minutes and he's been cautioned. And it's a free kick, which is pretty much as good as a corner for Wales.
Yeah, Kindle doesn't look like he's got a lot of pace. So you would say it's going to be a long 40-odd minutes for him now.
Different personnel, same issue, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Thomas,
He's actually getting that yellow card for some of the fouls. His mate gave first half. Fair play to him. That's his first one.
So Mayer will always remember his 50th cap, and Kenny Kindle will always remember his 12th, however long it lasts. I'll remind you of the Wales team in a moment. Remember, we lost Nico Williams in the first half to injury. Wilson and Thomas standing over this, 5 yards in from the near left touchline. 4 minutes into the second half. Surely it's going to be another in-swinger from Sorba Thomas. And that is indeed what happens. Down the throat, the keeper, who punches it away. Roberts on the edge of the box tried to volley it towards goal. It's cleared by Liechtenstein. The North Macedonia goal has been ruled out, so it's still 1-0 to Belgium.
This is why we're too hasty now. We've got to change our ways. You've got to wait till the VAR decision comes out before you say someone's winning. It's got to be adjusted.
Yeah. I just mad excited there. He's punching the air and everything.
He had us all looking around. Everyone was looking around in the media box. So you go, what?
Dreaded 3 letters. Oh, VAR.
And this is Thomas against Kindle, who's on a yellow card. He skips past him, and then a scything tackle comes in from Trabber, and it's another Wales corner.
I tell you now, Kindle's walking soon. He'll be reading his Kindle soon.
I was waiting for someone to make that
I was trying to think of trying to incorporate that into a joke, but I'm just not intelligent enough. But to be fair, though, I got to say, I wouldn't want to be playing up against Sorba Thomas. He's, like I say, it's a throwback way. Every time he gets the ball, he just wants to run at you.
And he'll take the corner. It's flicked on at the near post by Wales, scrambled away by Liechtenstein. This is Ben Davis trying to drive it into the penalty area. It's away. And it remains at 1-0, which is the same scoreline in Skopje. Belgium ahead after a VAR disallowed goal for North Macedonia. Wilson with a heavy touch runs into trouble. And then it's a free kick given against Wales. So their team is Darlow in goal, Roberts, Roden, Davis, and now De Silva. Ampadu sitting in front of them. Johnson, Cullen and Wilson, with Thomas and Moore up front. 6 minutes into the second half. You are listening to BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. We're on air until 10 o'clock tonight when Friday Night H takes over. Any reaction we don't bring you this evening, you'll hear tomorrow morning from 7 o'clock. Radio Wales Breakfast with Carl Roberts. And there's an injury here, and it's Kindle who's down off the field.
Yeah, he's gone up for a header. with De Silva. He's just come off worse. He doesn't land on his feet. He actually lands on his backside and lower back, and he's holding that area. And I know that is a sore one. But there's not a lot anyone can do for you in that situation. You just got to sort of get up and stretch it off, right? Yeah. It comes back to life in a minute.
He gets up and actually wins the head. He heads it into the channel, but I think as soon as he sees one of his players isn't going to get onto it and Ben Davies gets there first, he just thinks, oh, I'm just going to stay down and try and stop play.
It's a big summer of sport coming your way here on BBC Radio Wales. That Belgium game in Brussels on Monday, and the small matter of Euro 2025 for the women. The first game, they're all live on BBC Radio Wales, but that first game against the Netherlands is on July the 5th.
Jess Fishlock chip, can I just say, ridiculous.
And that was Tuesday night.
Ridiculous.
Worth the admission.
Oh, poor result. Yeah, but that was just ridiculous.
If you haven't seen it, you can watch the goals back on the BBC Sport Wales website. And speaking of Jess Fishlock, she is the presenter for a special documentary charting the rise of the women's team. Iconic, The Rise of the Women in Red. There's 3 episodes in the autumn. You can hear them again starting a week on Monday. And there's a new episode to tell the story of the playoffs, told by Jess and the team. That will be on air on BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds just before our coverage of that first game against the Netherlands on Saturday, July the 5th.
When's the squad announcement, Mark? Do you know? 18th or something of June?
The 19th, Upper Mountain.
Yep.
Let's hope there's
good that Rhian's walking up there as well. She's not getting helicoptered in.
I can tell you I won't be walking up there. That's for certain. I'll be getting the train.
I hope it's a clear day when they're up there.
Well, this is Wales attacking with Johnson. And Kiefer Moore somehow missed it a yard out. He stretched his boot. He would have had a tap in, and he just couldn't stretch those long legs enough.
I'm not sure if he didn't sort his feet out quick enough, Mark. I think he's half expecting the defender to get there. Yeah, he goes late. He's not getting there anyway. He was half a second too late.
On another day, Kiefer Moore could have had 2 goals tonight. He's trying to get on the end of this Roberts cross. It's hooked away by Liechtenstein before it gets to him, but Wales really turning the screw now in search of that second goal. Joe Rodon's header 5 minutes before half-time separates the 2 teams at the moment. It's great football, one-touch stuff into the box before the despairing lunge, this time from Sandra Weiser.
Great to see Joe Rodon get his first Wales goals, by the way. I think he's had a fantastic season at club level for Leeds. You think about his international performances, even when he wasn't playing at club level as well.
He was brilliant.
Performing so well in a Wales shirt when he wasn't playing regularly for his club. Had a superb season for Leeds, and great to see him get his first goal.
Yeah, and great to see his teammate back as well, Ampadu. If any kid watching Ampadu, just watch him and the way he organises the team and what they should be doing and where people should be, set up and what have you. It's so important to this team and this squad.
It's a Liechtenstein throw, and they forced them to smash it high into the sky and out of play in front of that double-decker Ninian stand. It's not full this evening. There are some empty red seats in the top tier because there are no away fans in that corner down the other end. There are a few empty seats there as well. But the Canton stand to our left, where Wales are attacking, is packed, and Thomas has crossed in just too high for Kiefer Moore. Taken on the chest by Roberts, who's tripped. Play continues with De Silva, now on the near left. Thomas again, back to De Silva. Socks rolled right down those shins. Davis, the captain, who scored in their last match here against Kazakhstan in March. Thomas again, hugging the near left touchline. Wales patient again, going from one side to the other, probing, trying to find another way through without the pressure of the scoreboard, because they are ahead by 1-0. Johnson drives around the outside far right, stands it up towards Kiefer Moore, who heads it down and heads it wide.
That's exactly what you want and where you want him. It's a great ball by Brennan. Gets to the byline on the right hand side. First cross we've seen from him, really. Uses his pace and then just stands it up. Beautiful ball. Kiefer coming onto it. 2 defenders around him, but just unable to keep it on target at that far post. But he'll be disappointed with that. He's up early. He's above him. Gets a clean header on the ball. And just heads it into the side netting.
Well, Liechtenstein can't get out of their own half at the moment. As Danny was alluded to, it's been a long time since they last won a World Cup match. You've got to go back to September 2005 when they beat Luxembourg. As Moore slides into the box, loses his footing, and it looked a clear corner. The Greek officials in the yellow shirts have given a goal kick.
Yeah, it looked like it was a great run by Kiefer. He's down in the left channel into the 18-yard box. He just tries to, let's see. I thought he just, well, it's a difficult one. You'd have to watch it a few times.
Difficult one for the officials to see there.
He tries to cut back onto his right foot, and he comes off the defender, or seemed to, but the referee went against Kiefer.
It's still just the 1 goal. This is Johnson popping up on the left, trying to slide it through for Thomas, and he has done. Thomas in space, right on the byline. Who can he pick out? Towards the back post. He's gone past everyone. Collected on the opposite side by Roberts, who has to walk backwards. Ampadu with a high one, and it's too high. It's out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, the only criticism you'd give of Wales tonight is that final third, that final ball, you know, that final cross, shot, whatever it is, header. It's just not quite been there. Maybe, you know, end of the season and what have you, like Dan said before the game, you tend to, well, it's the end of the season, so your brain switches off. So maybe they're not as sharp as they'd like to be, but that's the only criticism you can aim at Wales, really. Not taking the chances they provided and created.
That's perhaps why it's only the 1-0.
I wouldn't mind seeing a different type of cross maybe as well. We've spoken about the one to the far post, but you know, maybe a midfielder, a cut back to a midfielder on the edge of the box. They got a lot of numbers in there, Liechtenstein. They lined across that 6-yard box and had a bit of luck, but have defended those crosses quite well. Wouldn't mind seeing different type of cross, a ball back towards maybe the penalty spot and a runner from midfield coming onto it.
Yeah, I know what you said about before the game about Liam Cullen in that advanced position and JJ. But I like JJ in that advanced position as well. He has played it with Craig, you know. And in this kind of game, you can say to him, you've got a real lack of responsibility defensively. Go and join in, because he will shoot and he can, you know, pick a pass and he can finish. So, I'd like to see him come on. It looks like.
Yeah, maybe Lewis Kumas a warm up there, just coming back in.
There's definitely some activity.
Yeah, looks like he's coming on.
Lewis Kumas and David Brooks getting themselves ready for Wales. An hour gone. Thomas on the left gets the ball in, but only into the arms of the keeper. Yet another one which can't find a red shirt inside that penalty area.
He's breaking a crossing record tonight. Over Thomas, how many balls has he put in? He's just knocking the ball constantly to the byline and whipping the ball in. And
Kindle's a couple of times he's gone in for the tackle and missed him, and Sorba's got around him. We're just waiting for him to miss time one more of them, and he's in the showers.
Josh Sheehan as well, about to come on for Wales with the score 1-0 here on BBC Radio Wales. You've just heard from Nathan Blake and Danny Gavidon here at the Cardiff City Stadium. The clouds are disappearing as night draws in, and those big floodlights shine like beacons. And that free kick, it's a 5-yard pass to his teammate in white. He miscontrols it and it goes out of play for a throw into Wales.
I don't think they've had an attack, Liechtenstein. They've barely got into Wales's half. You know, they've been so deep, and then that front two have kind of been isolated. When they have won the ball back, they have had no width. They've not been able to get the ball into the front two. Wales have done a good job of kind of controlling the transition. It wouldn't surprise me if we actually saw Sorba Thomas come off here. He has done quite a lot of work.
Yeah.
You think he'd probably be involved in the Belgian game?
You'll probably see
start. So
Ethan come off as the holder.
Yeah.
Kiefer up front. And maybe Brennan or Sorba.
Well, David Brooks scored that dramatic goal the last time we were all together in Skopje.
Wasn't that a great moment, Mark? It's one of my favourite. I know it's like
you
North
had an
Macedonia.
out-of-body experience.
Oh, it was
didn't
absolutely
you?
wonderful. It's one of my favourite games, one of my favourite goals for Wales, actually. Absolutely magnificent.
This is Harry Wilson, meantime, by the corner flag for the men in red. Craig Bellamy halfway down the touchline. The fourth official's too bothered with the substitutes to see that he's a good 5 yards outside his technical area. Wales, meantime, continue to have all the ball inside the Liechtenstein half. Still only 1-0 ahead, however. And every white shirt is behind the ball and they just can't thread it through the eye of the needle at the moment. As Roden finds Wilson and Ampadu and now Roberts, they move it quickly. Out to Brennan Johnson, who rolls it over his foot, goes round the outside, stands up the cross for Kiefer Moore, and the keeper gets there before it reaches the big man. Claims it, clutches it to his chest and rolls on the turf.
And the players now, I find it incredible the amount of players who don't wear shin pads, Dan. You know, it's remarkable. You know, that's how much the game has changed.
They've got these little tiny little
children's shin pads.
Yeah. Mugs from
players now. That socks down thing's a big trend now as well.
Yeah.
Well, here come the changes. Europa League winner Brennan Johnson goes off to be replaced by David Brooks. Ethan Ampadu off in place of Josh Sheehan. And the fourth official's going to wait for Ampadu to make the walk from the opposite side. Brennan Johnson's already gone off on the opposite side and is making his way round the Canton stand to our left. And the final change, Sorba Thomas departs to be replaced by Lewis Kumas. Now, the first time Wales ever played Liechtenstein, Lewis's dad Jason scored twice in a friendly at the racecourse. So no pressure.
Player, by the way, Jace, great player. To glide across the turf. Great with the ball at his feet, running, dribbling. Really good player. Brilliant player.
That friendly was November 2006. So if you remember that one, I'm sorry for making all of you feel old. 1-0 in 2025. It will maintain Wales's unbeaten start under Craig Bellamy. This is Wilson looking for number 2. He sliced it. Or was it a pass out to Kumas? If it was right on the money. Here is Lewis Kumas's first touch. Back to De Silva, corner of the box on the left. That's a decent ball. And the header's in! And Harry Wilson flies in at the back post. That's a super goal from Wales. And it puts daylight between themselves and Liechtenstein.
Yeah, that is the ball. Slightly deeper. Takes out the two centre backs, the first at the near post, the one in the middle. Just a bit deeper. Great ball in, left-footed. Swung in from De Silva from his left-hand side. And a midfielder arriving, as Danny said about 5 minutes ago. Wilson coming late into the box, onto it. Gets a bit of a nudge in the back, but a really good headed finish.
Back in the team, back in the goals. Harry Wilson showing his class once again with his 13th Wales goal. And now will the floodgates open. 25 minutes remain. It is Wales 2, Liechtenstein 0. Joe Roden in the first half, Harry Wilson in the second half. Both headers, both from brilliant crosses.
Yeah, I think Craig will be delighted to get the second goal. You know, with the substitutes kind of coming on, of course you want...
Well, it's won by Wales, and Brooks drives forward. There's plenty numbers. There's a heavy touch though by the substitute, and the chance has gone. They had an overlap then as well. They outnumbered, the white shirts did, the Wales red. But the substitutes have had an impact for Craig Bellamy.
Yeah, just with the substitutes kind of coming on, you obviously want them to come on and impact the game, but it also is a chance that the game could become a bit disconnected as well. So to get the second goal is a big bonus. And Harry Wilson there, as I kind of mentioned earlier, just running from a deeper position. Great delivery from De Silva, just into an area. And because he comes from deeper, he's kind of got the momentum on the defender. And he runs into that area, gets there first, and it's a really good header into the bottom corner.
It seems like Gary Speed X
was a little
won it. Got to rest him. Fantastic timing from Wilson. And great ball, as you said, Dan.
Yeah, Speeder would have crossed it and got onto his own cross and everything.
No doubt there'll be an applause on the 85th minute, as there always tends to be, for the great man. And this is Sheehan for Wales. It's still 1-0 to Belgium in Macedonia, ahead of that big game on Monday that we'll bring you live here on BBC Radio Wales, between Wales and their old enemy, in recent times at least, Belgium. Remember, only the group winners qualify automatically for the World Cup in 2026. The runners-up go into the playoffs in March next year. Wales, we know, as one of the Nations League winners, are all but certain of that backup playoff spot, as Cullen kills it towards the back post. And there's Brooks arriving! It's parried and Kiefer Moore taps in! He couldn't miss that one! And Wales are moving through the gears now and putting the exclamation point on another fine victory. Kiefer Moore, it's 3-0.
Yeah, as we said in the first half, Mark, it's just about patience. You know, okay, the first goal in the first half, we didn't see a string of goals after it, but this second half, a goal by Harry Wilson, quickly followed by Kiefer Moore. And like I said, I'd expect him to go and get 4, maybe 5 now in this game. But the scoreline looks like respectable from a Welsh point of view now, right? Simple tapping for Kiefer Moore.
David Brooks strikes it really well on the volley with the inside of his left boot. And 6 yards out, there's no way Danny Gaboni could have missed that one. And finally he gets his goal.
No, you always enjoy them as a striker, right in front of the goal. Can't miss. Great delivery again, this time Cullen. Similar position to the De Silva delivery for the previous goal, into that far post. Brooks, he just makes a run off that right hand side. He's unmarked, he connects on the volley. Bushel, really good save. If he doesn't get a move in the transfer window, by the way, I'll be shocked. But it just drops to Kiefer Moore. He's out of the goal then after making a good save, and it's a simple tap in. He's no more than 5 or 6 yards out, and yeah, now we're getting the goals that our good players as deserved.
Well, it's missing out. The second goal comes from missing out the 2 centre backs on a late run by a midfielder. But the third goal, he's almost overhit it.
Wales have it again from the kickoff. It's Brooks into the penalty area. He cuts inside for number 4. It's saved by the goalkeeper. Somehow Wales carving them open now.
Great example there though of Wales just pressing, winning the ball back quickly in a good area in Liechtenstein's half and breaking in numbers. Ball out to Brooks. Looks like he's going to shoot on his right foot, cuts inside on that left, and you're just thinking he's going to bend that.
Yeah,
he's gone near post. He's tried to do it.
He's gone near post or scuffed it. But if he goes his normal, natural,
right.
He scores easy there.
Yeah, Bellas is fuming. I've just seen pictures of the manager there, and he's not happy.
But for Bushel, it could have been 5 or 6 by now. In the meantime, by the way, Liechtenstein have made a change. Nataro's come off for Malin, who wins his 50th cap, 9 years to the day that he made his debut. Let's hope he enjoys his 50th more than Livio Meyer did in the first half. 20 minutes to go. Wales 3, Liechtenstein 0.
Where's Kindle gone in? It looks like he's gone on the other side. He's played up front now, I think.
I'm sure we'll come up with some more puns before the end of the game for Kenny Kindle. But Wales now look like there could be far more goals for them. Attacking with purpose as Wilson charges down the back pass to the goalkeeper. He's able to sky it into the air. There's gloss on the scoreline now. De Silva looking in behind for Kumas, and he's onside, but the ball won't reach him. Bushel races out to get there. And another change coming as well for Liechtenstein. They were beaten 3-0 at home by North Macedonia in the first game, 2-0 by Kazakhstan. Wales 3-1 winners here on match day 1 against Kazakhstan. That last gasp 1-1 draw in North Macedonia. 3-0 tonight. Belgium to come in Brussels on Monday. And then we'll start next season with a long trip to Kazakhstan on September the 4th. Belgium here on October the 13th. Liechtenstein away November the 18th. And it all finishes with a visit to the Cardiff City Stadium of North Macedonia on the 18th of November. It is still North Macedonia 0, Belgium 1. Wales 3, Liechtenstein 0 as Jordan James gets set to come on for Craig Bellamy's team. As De Silva is fouled. I was just going to say it's been a pretty satisfactory night for Craig Bellamy, with the exception of that Nico Williams injury.
First yellow card there, Mark. Physique.
Andre Netzer is coming on. And it's Simon Lushinga who comes off. And the Wales changes Harry Wilson for Jordan James, and this will be a standing ovation for a man who is arguably Wales' most important player right now.
For me it's Ben Davies, but he is very important. He is, he's, like I say, I think we're seeing the best version of Harry Wilson right now. He's playing at a top level for club and country, and it's just great to see him back. Obviously picked up that injury towards the end of the season, and he is a very important player for us.
To say, as he's matured, he's added goals to his game, regularly.
Wales' most important player in an attacking sense.
Yeah, well, you look at the goal he scored tonight there with a header. That's not really a Harry Wilson type of goal. He's renowned really for those worldies, isn't he? Yeah. Left foot, 25 yards outside of the box, scores a lot of goals from outside of the box. So nice to see him kind of score a different type of goal tonight, where he's actually running off the ball and getting into an area and finishing.
Brooksy, stop it.
He's made a real impact. Little nutmeg and gets Wales moving forward. Now it's Kumas who wins the battle of the smallest socks in the Wales team. Gets past one on the left, has to cut back. Just behind him in those stakes is De Silva. Kumas again. Jordan James. It's great football by Wales. 1-2 touch stuff towards the edge of the box before it's a stray pass, so it breaks to Jordan James on the edge of the penalty area. Can't quite get it under control. Sheehan finds Brooks wide on the right. Outside of the boot, cross by Brooks. Collected by Roberts as it's cleared away by the white-shirted Liechtenstein players. And Jordan James with a header straight to the keeper.
Yeah, playing some really nice stuff now, Wales. Knocking the ball about, it's flowing. It's the kind of game where you're saying to yourself, if you're an attacker or a midfielder, I want to get a goal. You're looking at whatever the numbers come up for substitution, thinking, please, not mine.
Keeper's thinking I can get two more.
Yeah.
Well, he could have had a hat-trick already. He missed two great chances. Oh, Carl Darlow is still playing. He's touched the ball.
Oh, yeah.
His shirt can just go straight back into the
skip, right?
The skip.
Yeah.
You need to
wash it.
I don't think we've looked over the halfway line once as Kumas arrives the challenge on the near left. Wales on the attack once again. He's into the penalty area and it's stabbed away by Liechtenstein. They're somehow keeping it at 3. Wales really trying to squeeze the life out of them here as Kumas is brought down on the edge of the box. There's no foul. And a rare period of Liechtenstein possession ends almost instantly. And here's David Brooks to the edge of the box and shooting over the crossbar.
Oh, yeah,
he wants a goal. He wants a goal.
He does. But I would say if you got left there, Kiefer Moore's in acres of space. Jordan James has made the run, occupying the centre back. And Kiefer Moore, acres of space. But Brooksy, he's got the ability to score from there. Just gets underneath it.
2 wins from 3 for Glamorgan in the T20 Blast at Sophia Gardens. They've beaten Essex by 6 wickets. Plenty more on that on the BBC Sport Wales website. Here on BBC Radio Wales, BBC Sounds and 5 Sports Extra 3. Wales unbeaten under Craig Bellamy, unbeaten in World Cup qualifying in Group J, 3-0 ahead against Liechtenstein. 13 minutes plus stoppage time remain. 13 minutes to find some more goals, and you surely feel there will be. Jordan James finds Kumas, corner of the box on the left. 5, 6, 7 step overs, goes around the outside, the defender gets the challenge in. Wales's 11th corner of the night.
Yeah, just wondering, can they get that 4th goal now? Can they get a goal in the next 5-10 minutes, and probably get a 5th as well? But in fairness, you have to give Liechtenstein a lot of credit, because they've not given up, have they?
Yeah,
they've not folded.
They've kept going, and fair play to us as well. We look hungry for more goals. We're not sitting back either.
It's killed in and headed away at the near post. De Silva nods it back in. Head tennis on the edge of the Liechtenstein box. David Brooks plucks it out of the sky and then gives the ball away, but Connor Roberts is able to make the free kick. Ben Davies concedes a foul for Wales. A year ago, Wales, well, they're looking for their 4th now. Wales are on the end of a 4-0 scoreline against Slovakia. And they might get the 4th now. It's Kiefer Moore driving forward. He's got plenty of support. He slides in Brooks. It's a heavy pass, and he sinks to his knees, Kiefer Moore. He knows he should have done better there.
Didn't want him to score, did he?
He just didn't pass it to me, so I'll overhit it. Or I'll overhit it like I used to do again in the box, so you got to cross it.
That's right, just overhit the through ball. So then he has to turn back and cross it to you.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Clever keeper, clever.
He slid down to his knees like he was in platoon.
He slid like he meant it.
It's 3-0. All smiles in the Cardiff City Stadium, all smiles here in the commentary box with Danny Gabidon and Nathan Blake. Still 1-0 to Belgium in Skopje. It's a heavy touch by De Silva, and it's won by Liechtenstein. Netzer over the halfway line. Absolutely nobody all in white in support. Now they arrive, but they've picked
So
the
I'm saying
pocket.
they don't have the ball
Trader
for longer than 2 or 3 seconds at the time. Fair play to them. It must be really difficult to come to places knowing you're going to get beaten all the time. Just keep going.
This is Jordan James to Moore. Not a great flick. Liechtenstein player down on the edge of the penalty area. Sele leads a few Wales players on a bit of a merry dance as he goes over the halfway line. 10 minutes remaining in the Cardiff City Stadium. We are on air until Friday night. H takes over at 10 o'clock. We will try and bring you some reaction from Craig Bellamy, however many Wales end up getting. And we hope to have some news as well about that injury to Nico Williams, who was stretchered off in the first half. That's the only blot on the copybook tonight so far. Kumas for Wales as they hunt number 4. Tries a little nutmeg, but the defender had read it very well, Lars Traber. But they get only as far as the midway point in the first half, in their own half, before they're engulfed by the red shirts. De Silva a little too eager, and it's a free kick to Liechtenstein.
And I think we do have to give a bit of credit to Liechtenstein. They have kind of kept going, as like you said, it's not easy when you're constantly kind of losing games. So we do have to be respectful to them a little bit, because not too long ago, we probably weren't as bad as Liechtenstein, but we were in a similar position where we were going to places and wondering how we were going to win games. So to see where we are kind of now, and you really have to enjoy the success that we're kind of having at the minute, because it hasn't always been that way. It's been a process. It's taken time for us to get to where we are now. So
October 2011, Wales were 117th in the world.
There you go.
Not quite 205.
I've had that feeling myself. When you're going into games and you feel like you're not prepared and you're wondering how you're going to win, and it's not a nice feeling.
The Gould years, I would call them.
That's a Kumas cross, and it's hacked away by Liechtenstein. Brooks, who's desperate for a goal, is picking the ball out. The attendance, by the way, 30,646. Continue to push past the 30k mark for nearly every game here at the moment. Kumas once more on the left. He's completely skinned the defender into the box. Pulls it back. It misses everyone. It misses Moore. It misses Roberts. And Wales will start again with Ben Davies, the captain. Roden, who started it off just before half-time with the first goal.
Yeah, give it to Kumas again, because Traber just gave up. Didn't he? Just, go on, man.
Not again.
Yeah, just give it him.
And Olivia Meyer somewhere is sat on the bench smiling, I think, after his first half. They all went on the left through Thomas. It's now doing the same with Kumas. A shake of the leg, a drop of the shoulder. He gets away from him again to the byline. Checks back. Wants another go. And Davis with a heavy pass. And it's back to Carl Darlow. In fact, the referee's going to bring it all the way back for a free kick. And there's going to be a yellow card for Sheehan for that tackle.
Not sure about the shape they play as well. You clearly see the wingers, like Sorba has absolutely destroyed the fullback. Then they put another fullback, he got destroyed. Then they put another, he got destroyed. And you think three with the two wide sort of fullbacks tucked in. You'd want a winger in front of you as well. To, you know what I mean, a 4-5-1 or a 5-4-1, I would say they're better playing.
Yeah, I think it's kind of clever from Wales as well, though, in terms of when we spoke about it a couple of times with the inverted fullbacks. Because they go central, that then forces those players to be marked probably by the wide players of Liechtenstein, so then that just creates that pass out wide to Lewis Kumas, and they're in a 1v1 situation straight away.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right, from a Liechtenstein point of view. If you've got 4 and 5 in front of that 4, you can still have your wingers, but you've still got your 3 in the central midfield, so you never get an overrun. You're just not going to get up to your front man as much.
Probably a change of shape.
Yeah, they change the shape. I would look at them and go, well, you're just leaving your fullbacks exposed, in a back five. Really, it's happened all night,
6 minutes left. 3-0 is the score. And some have seen enough. There's a few blue seats appearing in the lower bowl of the Cardiff City Stadium. Those red and white ones on the second tier of the Ninian stand across from us. All the reaction to tonight on Radio Wales Breakfast tomorrow from 7 o'clock with Carl Roberts. And then all roads lead to Brussels, Belgium, Monday at 7 o'clock, live on BBC One Wales and BBC
Colin.
Radio Wales. This is Brooks charging into the box. It's a heavy touch. He's hit the side netting. And it's a goal kick. He was under pressure from the defender. He never really had his balance as he went into the box.
Beautiful play, though, between Brooks and Cullen. Lovely 1-2.
He's looked lively, Brooks, since he's come on. Looks really sharp.
Now, I don't want to alarm anyone here after the flack I got last time. The score app I've got on my phone here says North Macedonia have equalised against Belgium. They've already had one goal in the first half that was ruled out by VAR. The silence between the pair of you says everything.
Like Bernie Mac said, stop teasing me.
Yeah, stop spreading false hope again.
For real.
I'm glued to this app now to see if our old friend VAR is going to get into it. That would be a great result. And as Wales know, Skopje is a difficult place to go to. Here in Cardiff, there are 4 minutes left.
I'll play Joe Roden. Very
showed
calm,
strength and skill there.
Yeah, accomplished. Brilliant.
Be really good for him seeing him back in the Premier League next season.
A long-ranging pass. The keeper's got to come all the way out of his goal to juggle it. And then clear it downfield. He has caught the eye.
He's been outstanding, I have to say.
Yes.
Kept the score then.
He's winning his 73rd cap tonight. He moves into the top 10 of most capped Liechtenstein footballers of all time.
What I would say is as well, we're probably going to break a lot of records tonight in terms of passes made, average possession, crosses, attempts on goal, corners. And there'd be a lot of people kind of saying, well, we should do that. It's only Liechtenstein.
It's easier said than done though, Dan,
it is,
right?
But I think you need to look at how we're playing and what we're trying to do more.
Yeah.
I know it's not great opposition, but how we're trying to play now as a team is very, very different to what we've seen previously. You know, aggressive pressing, controlling possession.
In fairness, it's been from the day he took over against Turkey, right? This is what he's done. And I remember the first game, JJ played a lot higher up.
Yeah.
This is Kumas for Wales. Into the box too. Jordan James. He toes it to the edge of the box and only finds a white shirt. But they look out of their feet, do the Liechtenstein players. They have put a huge shift in this evening. 79% possession. I actually thought it'd be a bigger number, if I'm honest.
Well, there's a thought process behind everything. You know, you're seeing a team here that is, even in the short space of time that the manager has them, you know, the thought process behind what they're trying to do, you know, tactically, and the roles and responsibilities. You know, it probably would have been a shell shock from the first couple of camps. You know, very different to what they've kind of been used to, and it's still going to take a bit more time. You know, it's a bit of a process, but this is the way to go for me. If we want to continue to have success, do well at major tournaments, this is the type of football that we need to play. And it's not always going to be easy against the harder teams. The sides with more quality than Liechtenstein, it's not always going to be as easy to play this way. But I'm going to have to probably adjust things slightly for different teams, better teams. But this is the way to go. This is the way we need to play. This is the modern day way of playing.
It is 1-1 in Skopje. As Wales look for further gloss. Jordan James wide to Lewis Kumas. They're into stoppage time in North Macedonia. Belgium making their first entrance into qualifying, and they've been pegged back. Sets up Monday very nicely, but they're still playing there as we are here. Brooks into the box, crosses, Kiefer Moore, and just past him. Not sure he got anything on that.
I should have. For me, I think you bundle everything in the box there. I just think you anticipate the keeper missing it, as he did. May have got a little touch on it, but I think even if you stick your neck out there, put your head out, perhaps hit you in the face.
Aaron Selle is coming off for Emmanuel Zund as Liechtenstein make a change right on the stroke of 90. Wales are going to restart the game with a throw. It is 1-1 in North Macedonia. And that means Wales will top the group on 7 points, 6 clear of Belgium, who've only played their first game tonight. Remember, only the group winners qualify automatically for the World Cup.
Gives you a great opportunity to go there now and win, doesn't it? Next week.
And they could be arriving in better form. It will be 9 unbeaten
for Wales.
Wales have not managed 10 unbeaten in a row since March 2003.
Well, I don't think no manager has managed more than 5.
Well, Craig Bellamy is the first Wales manager to remain unbeaten in his first 4. Of course, all these statistics are great, but it won't matter anything if this isn't followed up with a qualification. USA, Canada and Mexico is the hopeful destination. Wales are strolling. And we're into added time. Kumas goes down the left and keeps it in, or so he thought. And it's behind for a goal kick. Craig Bellamy will be happy. Injury to Nico Williams aside.
Yeah, we think he'll be happy. You just never know.
You never know, actually. That's a good point.
I'm sure there'll be some things that he would have hoped to have seen better, but that's how demanding he is as a manager. But look, on the whole, it's been a really good performance. All the pressure was on us going into this game. You know, we were expected to go out and win this one handsomely. And to be fair, we probably should have 3 or 4 more goals more than what we've got. But let's not get too greedy. 3 goals, really good performance. Really enjoyed the way that we've gone about it, the way we've played as well.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. You just want, you'll say, you're searching for not perfection. You know, it's almost impossible to reach, but as close to it as possible. And maybe a few crosses and a few finishes.
Third.
Tonight it would have been, you know, to come off 5-0 would have been even better. But you know, Wales have absolutely controlled and dominated. And like you said, Dan, that point you made in before the game kicked off, you know, it is June. It is the time of the year where your brain switches off.
Not always easy. Not always easy. I think they'd be really pleased just the way we controlled the game as well. You know, not allowing Liechtenstein any counter-attacks, any shots on target. You know, that's a big thing for the manager as well, controlling the transitions. So I think the way we've done that, and the way we, you know, when we've lost the ball and snapped in quickly and won the ball back, you know, those are things that he'd be really pleased that he's seen from this team as well.
You're not missing action while Nathan and Danny were talking. We've played 3 minutes of 5 to be added at the end of the 90. Wales leading 3-0. It's still crucially 1-1 in Skopje. Lovely flick by Brooks. He's completely taken out. The referee waits to see if there's any advantage. There is none. Now Liam Cullen is announced as man of the match. Norway have beaten Italy by 3-0. That's an eye-catching result. This is Kumac with eye-catching step-overs. Toes it into the box. It's held up by Cullen. Scrambled away by the white shirts, who are still driving forward. And there's one man who is Hassler over the halfway line, the captain. And then he gets over the halfway line, cuts back, gives the ball away. Last attack, perhaps, as we're into the final 45 seconds of added time.
I would have had a shot there, just to get the stats from the halfway line. But he had no support, did he? 4 Wales players around him.
Well, for all we know, Carl Darlow's already got showered. We have not looked to our right once in this second half. Last attack for Kumas. Final seconds as he dribbles one way then the next and gets a corner.
The ref's going to give it as well. He looked at his watch and thought, nah, I'm not going to blow up.
Well, this is it. We are... The 5 added minutes are up. It's finished in Skopje. 1-1, North Macedonia and Belgium. That is a fantastic scoreline for Wales ahead of the trip to Brussels on Monday. Live on BBC Radio Wales from 7. This is the last action here in Cardiff. Corner from Sheehan is floated in, punched away by the keeper, and the referee blows the whistle. A satisfactory night for Wales. Not the avalanche of goals that many of the supporters would have hoped for, but it's 3 points. It continues the unbeaten start under Craig Bellamy. It stretches their unbeaten run to 9 matches ahead of the toughest test of the group on Monday in Belgium against the top seeds. It finishes here in the capital comprehensively. Wales 3, Liechtenstein 0.
Yeah, job done, isn't it, tonight for Craig Bellamy and his team. Unbeaten still under the head coach. Unbeaten in the World Cup campaign. And top of the group tonight with 2 wins from 3. Confirmation that the other game has finished at 1-1 in Skopje. North Macedonia 1, Belgium 1. So it looks like the perfect night really for Wales. They might have scored 2 or 3 more goals, that would have been nice, but otherwise Well, you can't grumble, can you, as a Wales fan? The way the game panned out there, it really was a comfortable night for the men in red as they all kind of gather on the edge of the Liechtenstein 18-yard box. Craig Bellamy out there somewhere in the scrum, happy. The caged tiger kind of calmed down, didn't he, during the second half? The prowling around the technical area. There was no need for it, really, because it was that comfortable. We're with you until 10 o'clock here on Radio Wales and BBC Sounds, and try and bring you some reaction from the players. Joe Rodon, Harry Wilson and Kiefer Moore, the goal scorers. Aaron Ramsey's come down pitch side as well. Some hugs and handshakes for him with some of those in the coaching team down there. Who knows what the future holds for him, both in terms of his Wales career and his club career. That's a different conversation at the moment. But let's talk to Nathan Blake and Danny Gabardon then. It was one of those nights when you wanted a hatful of goals. Clearly you got your three, Nathan. I thought you guys at one point were going to head down there and try and sprint onto the field to get a goal. You were that thirsty for them.
No, listen, like we said in commentary, if you were being hypercritical today, you'd say final third, balls into the box, and a bit of finishing was a problem. But the rest of the performance, you have to say, was ultra professional. And you can't really have a go at someone for missing opportunities. You don't mean to miss. But all round, I thought it was just a fantastic performance from Wales. Yes, we know, Liechtenstein are ranked 205 in the world. So you should have an easy night, and on paper it was an easy night. Probably 75-80% possession of the ball, 3 goals to the good, a hatful of other chances they could have scored from. Just put you in a great position to go into the Belgium game, and then knowing that Belgium have drawn the game, when you get into the dressing room, knowing you'll go in there next week, if you can get a result, it puts you in a fantastic position. So all round, a great night for Wales.
Harry Wilson have a little chat there with Craig Bellamy, one of the goal scorers this evening. Joe Rodon first to be interviewed on the edge of the pitch by TV, scoring on his 50th start for his country this evening. Since 2019, no other player has started as many games as Joe Rodon. Didn't have much to do in the second half, but that was the story of the game, really, as Wales just swarmed around the penalty area trying to find goals. Little trip around the field now for the Wales players as the stadium, the crowd thins out. Wonder how many are going to go to Brussels and make that trip out to Belgium for Monday night's game. We'll be there on BBC Radio Wales from 7 o'clock to see whether Wales can win in Belgium for the first time. We'll talk about that in more detail before the end of the programme. But Danny, comfortable tonight, as Nathan said. They did the job. They did what Craig Bellamy wanted them to do, to control the game, to control possession, to control the football. They were patient for the most part. Who in particular impressed you individually?
I thought it was a really good all-round performance. Sorba Thomas, I thought, particularly in that first half, was probably the standout player attacking-wise. But I think what you're seeing with this team now, and what you're going to see now moving forward, you are going to see performances like that where it's more of a team performance, where we're not so heavily reliant on individuals. It's about all the players getting involved, all the players touching the ball. The patterns of play that we're kind of seeing now. Look, this is a potential banana skin tonight. If you have any hopes of qualifying for the major tournaments, you cannot drop points against teams like this. And we never really look like doing that. That's how you go about dealing with a lesser team, with a lesser side. We were patient. Yes, we didn't get that early goal, but we were patient. The way we kind of moved the ball, the way we controlled the game, our pressing. We never give a sniff of an attack to the opposition. All really kind of important things. So I think Craig Bellamy would have been really pleased with a lot of that performance. Yes, it's about the results, and we would have wanted to have maybe got even more goals. We probably deserved to get more goals and probably could have been a little bit better in the final third, but the manager's still trying to instill habits into this team as well. And I saw a lot of good habits out there tonight. Some of the unnoticed stuff that maybe you don't watch as a fan, you're just looking at the attacking stuff and the chances we created. But in terms of the off-the-ball stuff, the pressing, the reaction to winning the ball back quickly, players played in certain positions and roles and what they're trying to do I think it's really exciting for us moving forward, and for us to dominate a game with that much possession and passes is something that we've never really seen, I suppose.
No, indeed, absolutely. Craig Bellamy waving to somebody in the crowd there, happy with the night's work, and Kiefer Moore as well, big smile on his face, scoring tonight, along with Harry Wilson and along with Joe Rodon, who broke the ice just before half-time. Let's hear from him with Alex Richards.
Well, Joe, congratulations. 3 points needed, 3 points in the bag, and your first international goal. How delighted are you with that?
Yeah, to be fair, it's been a long time coming, but now, of course, not just about me, it's about the team, and I thought we were really dominant today, and we started on the front foot, and yeah, just delighted to come away with a clean sheet and the 3 points.
It's been quite a few weeks for you, though. Promotion to the Premier League with Leeds, and now that first international goal. Did that just top the last few weeks off for you?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a ride this season, but now, like you said, the last couple of months have been, it's been an experience I'll never forget, and yeah, I just can't wait to push on now, and looking forward to Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Belgium will be a tough test. They've just drawn against North Macedonia tonight, so how do you push on from here now into that game, and what's going to be an important and interesting game on Monday?
Yeah, we're prepared like we have for every game. We don't look too much into it. We'll obviously recover after tonight now and get ready to go again as a team, and yeah, be ready for a really tough game on Monday.
Joe, we look forward to it. Well done tonight. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, toughest test so far for this team under Craig Bellamy when they go to Belgium on Monday. Nathan Blake and Danny Gabardon. I know you're going to be there for TV, Nathan, aren't you? You're in Brussels for television, Match of the Day Wales.
Television, radio, I do it all, mate.
Yeah, you've been nicked by TV. The glamour of television has taken you away. We got Barry Horn actually with us on Monday.
The last game I was up in the stands, them TV, radio. I'm a man of many talents.
We're all multi-platformers these days. But anyway, Barry Horn is with us. He scored. He didn't score. He played against Belgium 4 times in the 90s, winning twice there 35 years ago. We remember, of course, more recently, those nights. Well, I actually had a tweet or an X message from somebody who was here to see Wales beat Belgium exactly 10 years ago. You would have been here maybe for us when Gareth Bale scored. What a night that was. Can't believe it was 10 years ago, but the 1-0 win over Belgium in June 2015, en route to qualifying for the Euros, and then of course the big win at the Euros in the quarterfinals with the Hal Robson-Kanu goal and everything. I mean, we keep playing them so many times.
There'll be some fans who've got property in Brussels by Welsh fans, trust me, because we've played them so many times, and I remember that night well because I was on radio. I was doing it with Philippe Albert, and I was saying, like, we're kind of your bogey team. There's something wrong with, every time we play you, we seem to get a point or a win, and he was just laughing at me. And then, of course, when we run out 1-0 winners, he didn't talk to me after the game. He just left.
Refused to work with you ever again.
Yeah, I hope to see him over there.
But if we look at the shape that Wales are in going to Brussels, I mean, they haven't won in. We talk about the famous wins over them here and in France at the Euros, of course, but haven't ever won in Brussels. So can they do that on Monday night? But this is the situation then in the table going into the game. Wales top on 7 points. North Macedonia second on 5 after their 1-1 draw with Belgium tonight. Kazakhstan up to third. Belgium fourth, just starting their campaign this evening, of course, on the single point. Liechtenstein bottom, 3 defeats from 3. So really, that's the perfect result, isn't it, for Wales? A draw, North Macedonia and Belgium, because you don't want North Macedonia to be keeping pace with Wales, but you want people to be taking points off Belgium as the top seeds.
Well, and you go back to the last game for Wales in Macedonia, that last minute Brooks goal, just how important that is now, right? Because we're expecting Belgium to go there and pick up all points and put themselves in a dominant position, but it's really opened things up now. Wales have got a fantastic opportunity. If they can go and get a result in Belgium next week, then they're really and truly they're in the driving seat in this group.
And looking at the teams, a lot of people say, Danny Dundee, that this Belgium team, it's not quite the so-called golden generation that it was. But looking at the team that played tonight in North Macedonia, they still got De Bruyne, who's just left Manchester City, Lukaku, who played of course,
Napoli.
For Napoli, winning the league there. I was going to say Champions League final, but he's not at Inter anymore, obviously. He won the league with Napoli. Doku, the Man City player. Tielemans, Trossard, all top Premier League performers. Not bad still, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Danny and I were talking before the game, and we were saying, it's probably the weakest defensively. It's probably the weakest Belgium have been for a while. And then Danny reeled off 4 names, and we both looked at each other and started giggling because they have got some squad. So, like I say, for Wales, in the form they're in, I think they'll take it as Wales, they'll look at it as a really big challenge. Like Danny has spoke about, players and patterns and routines and, what they're learning from Craig and what he wants from them and how they're improving game on game. This is a perfect time to be going and playing in a real competitive game, knowing that if we get something out of this game, we control this group basically. And, I think when we got drawn with Belgium in the group, most people are saying, if we can finish second. But, I always say, with Belgium in our group, I fancy us to finish above them.
All day long.
I really do.
All day long. And look, it'll have to be a different type of performance over there. You won't see 76% possession over in Belgium. They're a good side. They've got fantastic players in the midfield and attacking areas. And you might see a different type of performance from us. It might have to be a bit more resolute. It might have to be a bit more defensive. We might play a bit more on the counter-attack. But we're able to do that with the players that we've got. So, Craig will already have a game plan for Belgium. What personnel he wants to use and where we can hurt them, and what we have to do to kind of get a result from that game. So, they've drawn tonight, which is great for us. We're in a really strong position. If we can go to Belgium and not necessarily even win the game, if we get a draw, that's still a very good result. Puts us in a very strong position with 4 games gone, exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, but I would say, I think the players will be in the mindset of, we can win here.
Of course, 100%.
Right? I think they'll go there and think, because like you said, they've not won there. It's a hurdle, another something that they can get over and tick off, that we can actually go to these places like Belgium and win. As we know, the famous result in the 2016 Euros, it'd be wonderful now if Wales can go and get all 3 points, because Belgium fans and players know they must sigh, like as we do. Belgium again. They must think, no, not Wales again.
Yeah.
When it really matters, this team always seem to get run over us.
And what sort of game is it? You talked. It's going to be a different game. Clearly, they're not going to have, as you said, 70% possession in Brussels on Monday night. So, assuming they're not going to have that possession through the middle in the same way that they've had tonight, what kind of game will it be? And how does he tweak the personnel?
Well, do you play Kiefer Moore up front? Do you play more of an attacking? Brennan Johnson played within himself today. I thought he just got through the game, didn't want to get injured. I think he'll be on fire, or he'll be far more productive. Sorba Thomas might play, might not. There's lots. I think the
do you
the
play
defense,
with a back 5?
Do you play with back 5, back 3, back 4? There's options. Do you play JJ instead of Cullen, or do you leave Cullen in that area? Cullen won man of the match today. I thought, if I was Sorba Thomas, I'd be pretty gutted with the performance I put in. But as you say, there's what Craig has to hand now is a lot of options.
Yeah. Well, what he has as well, Craig, he doesn't really have a particular kind of, but he doesn't really have a particular formation either. You'll switch it to a back 3 or back 5. You'll maybe want certain principles with the ball and without the ball will stay the same. But formation-wise, he doesn't really have a set formation, so you might see a change of formation there. There'll be different personnel required to do that job. And look, it's a different type of game.
Okay, well, we are going to hear from the Wales captain. He'll be playing, no doubt about that, is there on Monday. Ben Davies, here he is.
Ben, congratulations, 3 points in the bag, job done tonight.
Yeah, I think that was the most important thing. We dominated the game. We knew it was going to be one of those nights where we had a lot of the ball and it was just about getting the goal somehow. And I thought overall, good performance.
You had to be patient for it though, didn't you?
Yeah, look, it's, as I said, they can frustrate you, they can make it difficult for you at times, but it's about sticking to the plan, being patient. I thought tonight we did that really well.
A word on Joe Rodon getting his first international goal tonight, really special and great moment for him.
Yeah, I'm delighted for him. He's had quite a few chances and some close ones, but really deserved it. He's been brilliant for Wales now, and it just tops it off.
A quick turnaround now to Belgium. How do you build on tonight's performance? I'm not sure if you're aware, but they've just drawn with North Macedonia 1-1. So it's all to play for on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. And from our point of view, I don't think too much changes. We knew we need to go there and get a good result, and that's what we hope to do.
Best of luck. Thanks very much, Ben.
Yeah, there we go then. We'll be live for that one on Monday night, 7 o'clock. I suppose if he can get through this one, unbeaten, Craig Bellamy, that'll be 10 games unbeaten in his first year. That wouldn't be bad at all.
No, I think it's a wonderful achievement, but someone like Craig, I don't think he'd be bothered about that. It's just game by game. It's that relentlessness. It's sort of like attitude reflect leadership, and the way he is or was as a player, he's got this team going in the same direction and the same thought process. And I think, you know, like I just said, if they can go to Belgium and get 3 points, you know, what a result that would be. Not as in the scoreline, as in for your players and yourself, for a confidence to know that we can literally go to most places in the world and expect to go and get a win. You know, massive for them.
And I think what we have, which has been built over the last kind of few years under previous managers, is that team spirit, and we're very resolute and very difficult to beat. So even if the football side isn't really working, you know, we're not able to keep and control possession as much as Craig would like. We are defensively solid and very difficult to beat, and you know, when the backs are against the wall, we dig in and make it difficult. So there will be moments like that out in Belgium, I'm sure, but we have the quality in the forward areas to hurt the opposition as well. So different type of game it will be, but we're more than capable of going there and getting a result. And as I said earlier, you know, the first 4 or 5 games of the qualifying campaign are so important. If we can get to the 4th game and we're undefeated still, we're in a great position.
It's the biggest challenge so far under Craig Bellamy, and certainly during this World Cup campaign. Danny, thank you very much indeed. Nathan's on the bus to Brussels. We've booked you a National Express. Get on it tomorrow. We'll see you there on Monday night. Barry Horn will join us along with Helen Ward for coverage from 7 o'clock then on Monday night for Belgium against Wales before the summer break. That's it from us. Thanks for your company here on Radio Wales Sport. Friday Night H coming up after we get the latest BBC Radio Wales news now and weather as we approach 10 o'clock with Rebecca Miles.